You forgot. I'm a kid. 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 And in case you forgot.
What's good, E?
Hey, what's up?
Let me cut you up a little bit, man, in the earphones or headset. What's good with you, man? How was your weekend, brother?
Oh man, the weekend was good. The weekend was good. Did a little bit of relaxing, a little bit of working. It's a good weekend. It's a good weekend.
Good, good. Must I say happy birthday to you again, bro? It was Friday, right?
That's right.
Well,
That's right.
happy birthday. Um,
52 years old.
damn.
Bro, I am happy to have made it
I'm
52
only playing,
years.
bro. I'm only playing. I'm
I
only
hope I
playing.
make it 52. Well, yeah, I guess I hope I make it 52 more. I don't know that I would mind being 104.
Why nah? Hell no. Listen, no, you look great for 52. Let me just say that. But I actually stole that. It wasn't all that funny. I stole that from Kevin Hart when somebody said that. Somebody said it was a clip or a short that he did. And he was like, "How old are you again?" And it was some famous guy. And he said, "I'm 51 or 52." And he was like, "Damn." Like it was some ungodly ass number. But you look great for 52, brother. When didn't they used to say like 40 is the new 30? 50 is the new 40 and all of that. Do you live by that code?
No, bro, 50 is 50. You know what I'm saying? 50 is 50. I don't understand people who live by that code, man.
All right.
I don't want to go back to being 30. You know what
No?
I'm saying? I'm 52. Like, and I feel it. I feel it all in a good way. Like, I mean, I got some 52-year-old aches and pains too, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I feel
feel
you.
it all in a good way. Like I feel all my 52 years, the little wisdom that I've accumulated,
Okay.
and all of the experiences that I've had. I don't know that. Well, some of them I would trade it, but most
Really?
of them I wouldn't trade.
Really?
Yeah,
The experiences?
yeah.
You're saying? Okay, no, no, no. I believe experiences is what make us who we are. So I seen a little brother today that he we're not real close, but I looked out for him a few times. These guys, the younger guys, call you Unc. They call you Uncle or Unc for short. And this weekend was his birthday, and he was saying on his site or his page, he said, "This year has been the worst year of my life, but I'm happy to see another year. It's his birthday and blah blah blah." So I had to set this post out to him or respond to his post, and I said, "This was not your worst year of your life. This was the year that you learned the most." Sometimes when we go through a lot, those are the moments that that's when you learn the most. You learn who your friends are. You learn who's really there for you. You learn a lot more when you go through adversity. Anybody can have a great, I mean, when things are good, everything is good. You just don't see the fakeness around you. You don't see the false, the fake love. You just don't see the pretenders. You don't see any of that when everything is good, bro. But when things go downhill, brother, that's when you can tell when the real ones come, when the real ones are there.
All right. Now, when is your birthday?
I have one every 3 years now, and it is December the 6th. I'm December the 6th. It is
December
I'm a
6th.
Sagittarius.
All
If
right.
that matters. I don't really
I don't know.
believe in the stuff like that, but
I don't know nothing about none of that.
okay, good. Good. Because I mean, I'm December the 6th. Most people that ask when is your birthday, they'll say before I can spit it out, oh, you're a Sagittarius. And I'm like, yeah, yeah. I don't know what that means. They have these things that tell you what you are because of what month you were born, and I just don't really do that. I don't look down on it. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't either. So what's on your mind today, man? What we talking about?
I don't know, bro. I want to know how your birthday celebration was, man. Is that why you late today? You said you were spending time with the family,
And I
and
did.
I figured maybe you wasn't gonna make it today, bro.
Hey, my back is strong.
Mhm.
You can do a lot of stuff when you got a strong back. No, I was late because I picked up the other gig that I do.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
I was up there doing that and kind of got a little caught up and left out a little late. So I made it here just a little late, but
I understand. How's that new gig going? You loving it?
man, I'm loving it. I'm
Yeah.
loving it. I'm, just getting an opportunity to watch. I'm digitizing video that I participated in recording back from 2000. So I've
Wow.
got 22 years of video for this project that I have to digitize, and I have to do it all in real time. So
Are you saying that you have clips from 2000 that you have to put into today's clips too?
I'm saying I have whole recording, multiple day recordings. Again, I do Gospel Superfest, which is a TV show. And so
Right.
we'll go somewhere, some city. In 2000, it started in Louisville. We did Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. 3 or so hours, just big concert.
Mm-hmm.
And we recorded, hosted by Clifton Davis that year. And you record all
The
the
actor?
performances, all the
Clifford Davis? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
Clifton
interrupt.
Davis from Amen.
Oh, yeah. I remember
And
him.
so you record all the intros. He introducing Mary Mary. They did Shackles was they hit then. They were new, so they did Shackles the hit, and a couple more songs. And so now all of those tapes from 2000 to 2022
Ooh-wee.
have to be recorded into the computer and digitized.
Ah.
And like I said, it's
Okay,
all
so
got
it's
to be
not
done
really a
real
show
time.
you're putting. You're not digitizing it or editing it into a show. You're just kind of storing it. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay.
And then
All right, got it.
then I'll go in and I'll chop it up and take every performance out, and then every introduction and all of that kind of stuff. Take those out, and then I'll organize them. And at the same time, the show that we just recorded is being edited. So I'll be helping with that as well.
Yeah. You kind of scared me there for a second, brother. I ain't gonna even lie. At first, I thought you were saying you were putting all these tapes, all these sessions together to make one video. You was gonna have activator, perm juice, and all that. Oh, I mean, can you imagine 20 years of church hairdos, bro? I mean, they was rocking some curls, Jerry curls.
They wasn't rocking no Jerry curls in 2000.
In the church, they was. Don't lie. No, they
No,
wasn't
they
on the street.
wasn't. No, they wasn't. Not in 2000.
Can I get an A to the man from somebody? Wasn't they rocking? Wasn't Clifford at the damn choir, the choir guy? Wasn't he rocking a Jerry curl?
Nobody
In
was
2000.
rocking no Jerry curl.
Yes, he was.
Not
Yes,
in
he was.
2000.
Yes, they were. Things get there a little late. They was. Clifford was at the piano and shit doing all of that. All of that
No.
with the curl, fixing his shit in the back with the curl all on the gown on the back. You know it, bro. I'm not slow.
No, definitely not.
I'm not slow. They the choir. What's his name? What's his name? The choir guy who
I don't know who the choir guy is.
Clifford. That's his name. No, I'm
But
just
yeah,
kidding.
no, that's what I'm. And then so once you get caught up and you watching something, and I look over and I'm supposed to leave at 2:00, but like I got 10 more minutes to finish this particular tape. Then I go ahead and finish that, and then
I got you.
so
I got you, brother.
I
Well, I'm
look, I
glad you're
apologize
enjoying
to
it.
all y'all for being late. I apologize.
Yeah, it was all his fault. Kenny Smith says, "Section chocolate." Yeah, y'all know him with the blue suit on, the blue from top to bottom with the Jerry curl. Now you must admit, bro. Let's be honest. I ain't gonna talk about my church folks because I get a little sensitive. But that Jerry curl. We stopped wearing Jerry curls a long time ago.
Right?
The church was the last to get the notification.
No,
that
they wasn't.
Laid out.
No. I think
I'm
NWA was the last ones to get that. Get that message.
NWA. That was in
NWA
the
was the last
90s.
ones.
NWA came out in like 88, 80, 87, 88.
NWA was the last ones to get that message that Jerry Curls was out.
Nah, bro. I think it was Clifford at the piano in the church.
Okay, let me ask you this. And if this is too personal.
Oh, yeah, it is. If you got to ask like that, it is.
Do you go to church?
I used to. I grew up in a Baptist church. I went to Inspirational Baptist Church, and it was in Walnut Hills on Essence Place years ago as a little boy. And some people, I'm sure some of your audience and some of mine, they actually know Inspirational Baptist Church. It actually moved from Walnut Hills to like Forest Park or something like that over the years. I wasn't part of that
we
transition.
know Inspirational Baptist Church.
Yeah, I heard they had some shit going on out there from the preachers and all that. I just heard it. I was already gone and I left Cincinnati. I was already doing different things, but yeah, I heard. I heard it was some things going on out there.
Yeah, it was something.
Yeah.
But okay, so you're
They
not
have
a
Jerry
regular
curls?
church goer now.
Huh?
You're not a regular church goer now.
No, man, I ain't even gonna sit here in front. I got things going on Sunday, man, that just won't allow me to get to the church. And I got frustrated as a kid, quite honestly. Can I be honest and tell you? I used to hate sitting in church, and I would always bring my $1 to put in the plate and all that. I got that. But the preachers seem to want to talk a long time, and they know the kickoff is at 1:00. And they just talk and talk. And the further you live away from the church, the harder it is to get to the damn house to watch the kickoff, bro. I just can't do it. And I'm a firm believer that God don't necessarily need you at the church for you to praise him. That's just my thought.
Okay. I just curious.
Yeah, I mean, can't you tell? Do you really think this is a dumb question? But have you heard me? Do you think I'm a church goer? There's no way.
Look, you can be a church goer and still use profanity.
Oh, I know
I'm a
that.
believer. And I know all my church going people and they get mad at me when I say it. But I'm a believer that even Jesus used profanity. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
I really
come
do
on
believe
now.
it.
Jesus didn't. Well, he probably did because everybody was. Yeah, he probably did. He probably said some words back in his day.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
So
probably did.
I believe profanity is just, for the most part, expressive words.
I don't think he used big profanity words. I think he used stuff like hell or damn it or something like that.
Look,
I don't think he used the big words.
Look, he wasn't speaking English. And so I don't know what profanity is in whichever language he was speaking, but I believe he probably used some profanity. He had to express himself. I believe that.
Yeah.
So, I don't have a problem with profanity. Profanity, again, is for the most part is just expressive words that somebody somewhere decided, oh, that's offensive. But It's just a word.
Yeah, well, I was taught by a Nation of Islam leader, that the word that cuss words, and I've lived off of this for a long time. I just don't live by it. I live off of it, but not by it. That curse words are used by people who have a limited vocabulary of the English language, and that we use those words to satisfy our anger. And I do believe that we use it to satisfy our anger.
No.
I don't believe it's because we have a limited vocabulary. I don't believe that.
Well, why do
There's
I
only
use it?
so
I use
many
it when I'm not
words,
mad. Like I
huh?
use it for I use profanity, kind of like an exclamation point. I don't have to be mad.
Mm,
I don't, what I'm saying, and I'll have plenty of words to express what I want to say, but saying this one word capsulizes it all. And yeah.
okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's just that um, I guess it was the setting that I was in when I was being taught that,
Okay.
because I had a lot of anger issues. I was going through some things, and I was going, sorry about that. That's the phone. I was doing some things in life at that time that anger was leading my anger was guiding me. And I'm not going to sit here and tell y'all that I'm proud of that, but anger was guiding me, and my words that were coming out of my mouth was based on my anger. It was all my anger. And I've learned over some time that you just can't handle your problems by being angry. I try to tell that to my children all the time, that the worst time to make critical decisions in your life is when you're mad. You won't make the right choice.
April says the Holy Ghost will change you and won't let you cuss. I don't believe that. I don't
Say
believe
it.
that at
Say,
all.
what was that? Can you say that again for me?
Angel says, April, I'm sorry. April said,
Okay.
y'all got to get saved. The Holy Ghost will change you and won't let you cuss.
That's a lie.
No, no.
Sorry, April. Sorry, April. But I didn't see some people. See, this is one of the reasons why I don't go to church. I don't want to get on the church, folks. But I just got to be honest and tell you. You got to give me 15 seconds to get this story out.
Go ahead.
When I was a little dude, I was at church one time, and I went up to the place where they was changing. The choir people was changing in their robes or whatever. And when I got up there, I smelled weed, and I heard everybody talking crazy. And I couldn't believe it. I was a little dude, and I was already at that cliff of not really wanting to be there. And I thought it was all fraud. Not God was fraud, but all this shit and people catching the Holy Ghost and all that. And then all of a sudden, they Christians on Sunday. And then when you see their ass out on Tuesday or Wednesday, they live in a whole different lifestyle. And that kind of threw me off. And I would hear church people cussing and fussing, dating each other's boyfriends and all that stuff, man. And then that's what really made me understand that I didn't have to be in a church in order to believe in God, nor did I have to surround myself around people that I'm trying to figure out either. I didn't feel comfortable in that.
All right. Yeah,
That's not for all churches. That's not for all churches. But keep in mind, I came from one of the churches that have one of the worst reputations of some shit that was going on. Now, that all went on after I was gone, but the irony of that, it's kind of ironic.
All right. Well, yeah. Again, um, cuss words are just words that somebody decided were inappropriate. That's the way I see it.
Yeah. I mean, there's certain words that we really shouldn't say. I'm okay with cursing, but the F-bomb, I see grown up saying that around little bitty children. And that right there kind of irks me a little bit. I can understand if what the hell you doing? But when they say, what the F you doing? And they use the actual word, that kind of, that messes with me just a little bit.
Okay.
The kids,
Okay.
So look,
I-
man, I know some people love the fact that we talking about this, but I just want to ask you a question. You put a post up, you put a few up the last few days. And I'm wondering, I did a show a couple weeks ago about customer service. And I just seen your post that said, I can't remember verbatim what it said, but it was something in the nature of you saying, people, something like we shouldn't be mean to people when it comes down to customer service. Do you remember exactly what it said, bro?
I don't remember exactly what it said. I just remember the sentiment behind it. And it's really simple to me. I know people who are, otherwise good people. But for whatever reason, when they deal with people in a service capacity,
Mm-hmm.
and it can be at a restaurant, it can be you trying to order something and then that person on the other line trying to help you. It can be, at a hospital, whatever. When they are dealing with people who are in a service capacity, they're really rude and nasty to them. And for some reason they think, this is me standing up. You got a right to demand good service, but they just really nasty to people. And
Mm.
it bothered me that particular day because there was a person that I was in the company of who was ordering something over the phone, and they was just being really nasty and the person on the phone was as polite and professional as they could be. But the person who was ordering, they were actually asking for help because they didn't know what they needed to order.
Mm-hmm.
And so the person was trying to help them and trying to look up the item that they needed to order to accomplish what they wanted to accomplish. But they was just so nasty to the person. And I was thinking, if that was me, I'd have hung up the phone on you. You're
Right.
not gonna talk to me like that. And I'm trying to help you, and I'm being nice and polite, and they was just so proud of themselves. Like I
For
told
being
her,
for being mean.
yeah. And I'm like, but you told her for what? She was trying to help you. Well, I
Right.
demand good service when you were getting good service. There's no reason for you to just be, and I see it when you out at restaurants. I mean, look, I
Oh,
get
so
it.
this is a consistent behavior of this individual you talking about.
Well, of a group of individuals, not this
Mm.
one particular person that yes, that is her consistent behavior, which is I don't really deal with her
I
because
know exactly what you're saying. I got a buddy that I don't go to lunch with anymore. He do that same shit. Like he would he can't. It's almost like he looks for a reason not to leave a tip. He runs the waitress or the waiter around town, bro. Like, can you bring me a napkin? And the napkin to come. No, I needed 3 napkins. Can you bring me some salt? Well, no, I needed 2 packs of salt. You know what I'm saying? Like everywhere we go, he would do this. And I already knew 10 minutes out when it was before it's time for us to leave, he was gonna say, well, there went her tip, or well, there went his tip. It's like, bro, you do this shit every time. I'm thinking this is a strategy for you not to leave a tip. Because who bring me whatever it is, be specific. If you need 2 packs of salt, don't get mad at them if they only bring you 1 and you didn't ask for 2. I think some people, that's what I call a chaos agent. Somebody that just looks for a reason to be mad. They may even have a legitimate reason to be mad, man. But sometimes you just got to understand that people are going to slip up and make mistakes.
yes, people make,
Really are.
and sometimes, especially when you're dealing like at a restaurant or something like that, you go in and the place is packed.
Yeah.
The waitress, she or server, he or she got however many people. If somebody get an order wrong, like I said, well done, and this is medium well.
Right.
How was the waitress supposed to know that? And now you fussing and cussing out the waitress. She didn't cook the food. She didn't. And if she'd have cut your shit to see if it was well done, you'd have been mad. That she
Yeah,
cut
yeah,
you know
oh,
what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I-
Now I have had my moments, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Okay, here I am gonna sound like a hypocrite. My daughters, my family has sometime an issue with me when we go out. And that's only because I do demand good service when I'm spending my money. I'm only an ass when it's necessary. And I know that sounds ridiculous because of what I just said, but no, I'm serious. Like I've had such bad service before that I had to not argue at the waiter or the waitress. I generally just bring it to the manager's attention. And I'll say, hey, look, this was a really bad experience. I probably won't come here ever again because of such and such or whatever. But to do a scene and all of that. But here's where my family has an issue with me sometimes. They're not as they're not as outspoken as I am. If they have a bad experience, now this is my wife and my two daughters. They'll just keep it to themselves and still tip and just move on to the next situation. Me, I'm limited on the tip. I will express myself of what I didn't enjoy, what was wrong, but I'm also the guy that when I have a great experience at a restaurant with a waiter or a waitress, I'll ask that waiter or waitress, "Can you go get the manager for me?" And I will give that waiter or waitress the utmost compliment because it seems like most people only complain to the managers. They very seldom will call the manager out and tell the manager the great experience that they had. So I'm that guy. Whenever I have now, that's not every restaurant we go to, but when the waiter, like you know how when you have a waiter or a waitress and you never have to ask for a fill up on your glass or something because they just on it. You just know people that are professional waiters and waitresses. They know they shit. They know what they're doing. Those type of people get compliments. I always, hit them with compliments to the management. But then there's some people, man, that just have no business doing the job. And it shows in their, it shows in their service. It just shows.
Well, I mean, even like I've been at the hospital with a group of people, with a group of people, and they treat the nurses mean. Just like people, there are people who believe that if you're serving them, this is gonna sound silly, but if you're serving them, you're their servant. And so
Yeah.
they treat you with no respect because you're in a service capacity.
Yeah,
And I
no,
just
that's
it
wrong.
I was bothered by that experience, and that was why I put the post up the other day. And I have to say, and I guess this kind of goes back to the previous conversation. A lot of these people are Christians, man. And I'm like, sometimes it
Now, when you
seemed to
say
me,
Christian, you talking about church folk.
yes,
Oh, okay,
it
yeah, you're
seemed to
right.
me like church folk sometimes are some of the meanest people, and like I was, they're nicey. They're nicey. Like
Yeah.
they try to be real,
Wow.
like they being as nasty as they can be, but in a nice way. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you see the pastor, the lady who was up there? I don't even know her name, bro. You might know this situation, but somebody put a video out and she's been apologizing for the last 2, 3 months now for what she did. But she was talking down to the congregation about how they couldn't, like, they're not cute, they don't look good, they don't have enough money. Um, did you see that video clip of that lady?
no, I did
Yeah,
not.
there's the one going out. And I'm sure one of the people somebody that's watching will probably put that name up. It's interesting how they, sometimes look down on people, but then use the Lord as the, as like their shield that you can't be attacked back, or like God put them in a position to only criticize people, not be criticized. I don't know. It's a weird combination when you get Christians and bad behavior. I mean, it's a weird nucleus.
And
It's
look,
really weird.
don't get me wrong. I understand that people are people. You know what I'm saying? Christians are just people who believe Jesus was the Christ. So I understand that. And that, I mean, your personality is your personality. So
Mm,
you don't lose your personality because you believe Jesus was the Christ. I,
mm.
I get that. But at the same time, I, and I guess that's why they do it in the way that they do it. But just if you one of them people who are like nice, nasty to people,
Mm,
like people can tell you're not being nice. That's why I hate when people say stuff like kill them with kindness.
mm.
Don't kill me with kindness. If you want to kill me, then just come for me. You know what I'm saying? Don't
Yeah,
try to
well,
mask it with kindness. That's not,
I
no.
do believe in kill people with kindness
I don't
because,
believe in that.
well, I do. I mean, maybe we just have different views on it. I just feel like sometimes the best thing to do to evil people is just be happy because they're usually, hurt people like to hurt people. And if you send a message like, hey, bro, you can't hurt me with words, you can't hurt me with your actions, that hurt them even more. But sometimes I just put a smile on my face when people coming at me and
That's
I
not
know that they have problems.
that's not my experience with people who believe in killing with kindness. Like
Really.
what you saying to me is not killing them with kindness. Uh it's been twisted. Kill them with kindness no longer mean just be kind to them. And if you kind to people, then those kind of evil people that will, you know, deal with them in whatever way. That's
Hmm.
not what people mean. People they be nasty, but they do it in a nice way. They be
Oh,
nasty, but they do it in a nice way. Like you can't tell what they doing. And I
mm,
don't like that. That bothers me. If you mad at me, if you don't like something I did or something I said, I'd rather you just come to me and say, I don't like what you did. I don't like what you said. I got a
yeah.
problem with that. And then let's hash it out as opposed to being, you know, kind. And it's just so, I can't even express, and I can't think of any examples right now, but there are definite examples of things that people do to try to kill you with kindness.
Yeah, but there's a difference to me. I think when you're killing people with kindness and you're genuine, you're generous with it, and you really mean it from the heart, that's one thing. But when you're using killing with kindness and being sarcastic, you can pretty much that's the nice nasty. That's what
See,
that
but
is.
to me, why you want to kill me? I mean, I understand. See, that's why what you're saying, that's not killing me with kindness. That's just being kind and whatever, you know what I'm saying? But when people actually trying to kill you with kindness, they want inside of them, they want their supposed kindness to hurt you.
Oh,
And
that's I mean, to be honest with you, yeah, that's what I'm doing as well. It's just I really mean it with my kindness. I mean, I really want my kindness to hurt you because you're trying to hurt me with your evil. And
why
it
then just don't deal with me? Like, you know what I'm saying?
well, you're
Just
mad at the person. You're not mad at the person that's killing with kindness. You're mad at the person that's killing with evil, right? That's
no,
what you mean, right?
I'm mad at the person that's killing with kindness, man.
Really?
Just be kind. If you just like, you know what I'm saying, you trying to hurt me, but it ain't affecting me, bro. I'm just happy. So I don't care. I'm just happy.
Hmm.
Just be happy. I don't care how my happiness affects you. I'm not trying to kill you with kindness. I'm just trying to be kind. Now, if that affects you negatively, that's on you. But I take no pleasure in that.
Hmm. Okay. Well, I'm a little lost on it now, but I mean, I just figured that if somebody was trying to do something to me evil, and I had no choice but to deal with these folks, my path has always been kill people with kindness by not allowing them to be satisfied by hurting my feelings or them being satisfied that their evilness has been able to penetrate my soul and to make me down and make my day nasty or rough. So what
Okay.
I do is I just kill them with the, hey, got, whatever. I'm just gonna stay in my lane and killing people with kindness can sometimes mean just not stooping to their level. That's just sometimes you just got to keep on walking.
I think maybe sometimes people think too much about the other person. Like like here we go. For example, I love your pink shirts and zigzag hairline, right?
Huh? Is that
That's
a
what
a
Ross
comment?
Freeman.
Oh,
He
okay, I
just
see
he just posted that comment,
it.
right?
Okay,
I don't care. Like I genuinely don't care. Like, so I'm not gonna say something to try to hurt him.
right.
To be kind to him, to hope that that's a dagger. And I'm like, he really just want to get to me, and he did that. I don't care. Like, say what you say. I don't care, and I don't care how you feel about my response. You get whatever response. Now, if I want to come for you, I'm not gonna be kind about it. I'm gonna just come for you. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm tired of you, Ross, whatever, and this and this, and your mama and your grandmama and blah blah blah. I'm gonna come for you, but I'm not
Right.
gonna try to be. I don't care enough about how whether or not you get the satisfaction. Like
I
I
understand.
don't care enough.
I understand.
I just
I
walk
just think
away
it's
happy.
sometimes when
Like
you have to deal with people. Like if you were on a job and you were dealing with somebody that just made your life tough every day at work.
I did that.
Um, yeah, I mean, we've all been through that. And if you sometimes acting the way they act, no happiness, nobody's gonna get anything out of that. If you hit them with the same shit that fire fighting fire, you can't do that all the time. Sometimes you just got to be like, um, have a nice day or whatever. I don't know how to make. I gotta be specific with a story, but I've been in a
I know
situation where
what you
people,
mean.
you know what I'm saying. You just got to
Yeah.
stay in your lane and not fight fire with fire at all times.
I
Because if
just,
you
you know
do,
what? I agree with you. Here's the way I've handled it. And typically this is the way I handle it. It all depends on my mood that day. If I'm in the mood and I got time, then I'll fight fire with fire. If not, all right. For real, that'll be my response. Somebody will say or do something, and I'm like, all right. I really don't have time to deal with it today.
yeah,
Maybe I'll remember it tomorrow, and then I deal with you.
right.
But I ain't got time to deal with it today. And I just keep it moving. And I don't care if that hurt their feelings. I don't care if that took satisfaction from them. I just ain't got time to deal with it. Like, I just ain't. But when I got time to deal with it, and I feel like it, then I deal with it.
I feel you.
And I have fun dealing with it.
You just admitted to the world that you can be petty. You can be petty with it.
Me?
You can be petty with it, yo. I'll make sure to stay out of that way, bro. I don't want to say shit to you. That's we don't have to agree on everything, but I've heard you petty a couple times on the radio, quite frankly. But
Again, for me, it's if I got time and I'm in the mood for it, and then I'm gonna have fun with it.
yeah, I don't have all that energy, bro.
And then,
I
that
don't
don't
have
necessarily
enough
mean I'm
energy for
trying to
all of
like
that.
hurt your feelings or anything like that. But
Yeah.
if I'm in that kind of mood too, then I'm gonna find something to hurt your feelings. By the
See,
time we done, you gonna be mad and you gonna want to fight. But you gonna have to remember you started it. I was just minding
right,
my own
right.
business, doing nothing, and then
Yeah,
you wanted to
yeah.
come for me. And so
It sounds like you got too much time on your hands, bro. Speaking of time on your hands, man, we ain't heard shit about your scooter. What's up with the scooter, bro?
you know what?
Yeah, I know what. I know what. Without even telling me,
I
that
haven't
damn
started
thing
on
sitting
the
over
I
in the
haven't
corner
started on
next
the
to
moped.
huh?
I haven't started on the moped.
Oh,
I
jeez.
haven't started on the moped. When I start, I'll let y'all know. And somebody said, E will dig your granny up and cap on her in the grave. only if I have an indication that you are really sensitive about that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, like if you tell me, like, I dig your grandmama up and whatever, I'm like, you a what? That's crazy. Why would
Hey,
you do
man,
that?
that's Freddie King right
That
there,
wouldn't
bro.
bother me. But if you are like really sensitive about your dead grandmama, don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Yeah,
And then
that's
come for me. Because if you tell me, if I know this,
mm,
then yeah, I'm going to talk about digging up your old dead grandmama and doing something to her. Yeah.
yeah, E, bro. Like, yeah, okay. I ain't got time for all that, but okay. I feel you. Like, if you really trying to hurt somebody, like I said, bro, like I just don't even deal with people that's that hurt. For them to have to stoop to a low where I got to get to a level where I'll be talking about they dead ass grandmamas and shit. Like I ain't really got time for that,
It
bro.
all depends. If
'Cause
I'm
that's
in
gonna
that
be listen,
mood,
bro. It sound like fighting words. You talk about my dead ass granny. You know what I mean? Like I just my grandmother was everything to me, man. I can't imagine. But
if
anyway,
I'm in that kind of mood, if I'm in that kind, and usually you save that for people who you done let slide and let slide and let slide, and they just
yeah,
keep doing stuff and keep doing. You done let slide, and then you finally like, all right, I need to do this one thing, and it's like the bully thing. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
You hit the bully, you knock the bully out, the bully leave you alone. If you sensitive about your mama that died, I'm gonna talk about your mama.
All right. I guess, bro. I'm reading the comments here, bro. Like what you're saying is obviously what you do because people are lightweight, co-signing that shit. They actually say you are the king of the pettiness. E-Man is great at it. I mean, they actually co-sign and they've probably heard you over the years.
No,
I,
I don't think I've ever done that to anybody live where anybody else could hear it.
maybe some of these people know you. I mean, maybe they know, maybe they know some of your church folks you hang out with too that be dogging people. And they figure, y'all flock together. People that stay together usually act the same way. So I mean, maybe they know them too. I don't know.
Hold on, Kenny Smith says another project failed. Stop it. I didn't start the project.
What project?
He's talking about
the moped?
How is it
You
failed?
did start the project.
I didn't start the project. All I did was buy a new gas tank, which is sitting on the moped right now. I haven't rebuilt the engine. I haven't stripped the paint off of it and repainted it. That will all get done. I got a whole winter to do that. And
all
so
I can say is this, bro. There are some people.
Come spring,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna
I
be
hear
out
you.
there rolling.
I hear you. But hey, Kenny Smith and some of the others who was probably listening the other day when we had this moped conversation and some other conversations in the moped direction, all I say is this. Y'all know he got 3. He even got a station wagon in his backyard. That's how you got all kind of projects and shit. You still got that radiator and what would you call it? The water heater in the backyard and all that.
Now I got one car, which I'm gonna probably go out there next week one day and take out the stereo and everything and then get that out of there.
Okay.
Now, I'll be honest, pulling the engine out of that Toyota, that's gonna be, up. Yeah, I gotta swap out the transmission.
Oh Lord.
So, and it's been sitting for a few years. So I really do need to just pull out the engine.
Hold on, E. For those, listen, I used to listen to you on the radio as well, and I hear you. You always got these do-it-yourself videos and shit you talk about, and everybody listens to you, and they want you talk about doing your own brakes out in the driveway. Do y'all realize if y'all listen to E about do-it-yourself, you will have shit all over y'all yards?
No.
You never finish a project.
That's not true. That's not true. When it's time, when I do my breaks, that's a a couple hours, if that, job. You do it and it's done. Well, these are jobs that can wait. So if something else pops up, or if I'm just not in the mood,
right,
I don't do it. Because the car is sitting there. It's, what I'm saying? I don't need it. Like the moped, I don't need the moped to get around.
You didn't need it when gas was $17 a gallon, huh?
I didn't need it. Somebody gave it to me. So I'm going to rebuild that little engine. And then I'm going to be rolling around.
You still got little baby thinking that it's a motorcycle?
She calls it a motorcycle. She calls it a motorcycle.
Look, little baby. Look at my motorcycle with pedals.
She asked me the other day. This is funny because it's true. She asked me the other day. She said, "Grandfather, are we going to go work on your motorcycle today?" I said, "No, little baby, we are not."
You teaching her wrong, bro. She ain't gonna never finish a project.
Almost every time I come down here, she thinks I'm coming down to work on the motorcycle. And so she's really fascinated. So when I go to work on the motorcycle, I have to have her there with me. But I've drained all the fluid out of it. I just haven't taken it off and put it up on the little bench and took it apart and ordered the parts and put it together. But I will.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, bro, I ain't mad at you, man. Enjoy your your motorcycle, man. Enjoy it.
Hold on. Here's when I get it done, then what?
Then you'll be ready. But gas will be back down to $2.15 a gallon by that time.
Like y'all trying to criticize me. You, and these listeners slash
Bro, I was on
watchers,
your side. I was getting you a matching jacket and helmet and all type of shit for your
y'all
bike.
trying to criticize me, but you know, hey, let me live my life.
All right.
Let me do what I do, and
right.
y'all do what y'all do.
That's true. That's true. Just put it on in the backyard with the rest of the shit.
It ain't no lot of stuff in the backyard.
Man, I didn't heard you had a water heater, boiler, all type of. You can build a damn gym. You can build some shit back there, man. Nuclear. You got all type of shit back there.
Hold on. Update. I talked to Mrs. Livingston about the boiler, and I can get rid of it.
Oh.
She said I can get rid of the boiler, and I can get rid of that big TV.
Oh my God. And you got a big screen. It's probably one of them big screen flow models back there.
No. She, Mrs. Livingston, has one of them big back TVs. It's like a 32-inch or
in the backyard.
No, it ain't in the backyard. It's in the living room.
Oh shit. Don't tell me y'all still got one of them wooden ass floor models that everybody had one little TV sitting on top of it.
It's the little TV that would have been sitting on top of the wooden one. But it's big. And you know them TVs. Like now, I just got a new 55-inch TV. Somebody actually gave it to me. Said, you want this TV? And I was like, I ain't got nothing to do with that TV. They said, well, take it. It works perfectly. I got
Is it a flat screen at least, E? Don't say it's one of them big ass. Is it a flat screen 55?
Yeah. No, this is a new TV.
It's some 2000 shit, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm bringing it up to say, all right, I said, okay, cool. I took the TV, just me, and I carried the TV. I put the TV in the car, came home, carried the TV, put it in there, put the base and the stand together. Boom, got another TV now in the small office. A 55-inch TV in the small office just because somebody gave it to me. It works perfectly. Nothing wrong with it. But I did all that myself. That 32-inch TV that's sitting in the living room, I have to call somebody over to help me move that TV.
Yeah. It's one of them 1968 joints, right?
Well, it's probably
with the speaker. It got the component set.
like a 1992.
Nah.
It's like 1992.
Just answer
still,
this.
Still the big back TV.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but just answer this one for me. Don't say that this TV can play records too, right? We ain't talking about that.
No, it can't. But I've been trying to get rid of that TV for 10 years now. She uses it. She's used it twice in 10 years because she takes her little Miss Pac-Man, and they got the little RCA things on them. You can buy the little ones.
Yeah.
And she plugs it into the TV and plays it for like 5 minutes just to shut me up. This is the game, because video games don't look right on them big TVs. So this is for that. And I'll be like, you don't play video games, baby. You don't play video games. But she was down with but I finally got to go ahead to get rid of that big back TV. So that will be gone. So
I don't know what to say.
2 items down. The boiler and the
2
big
down
back TV.
And four, how many to go? 14 more to go.
Only 2 more to go.
I'm just going by the lineup you told me. I've heard all type of shit. Washer and dryer, and I didn't heard it all, bro. You truck transmissions and shit. I'm like,
got nothing. All I got my 2004 Toyota Highlander. The transmission went out on it. And they were talking about I had to buy a new. See, this is why I'm telling y'all, doing stuff yourself is beneficial. Okay, they're telling me like $2,400 or something like that because they can't repair it, and then they don't want to put in. They just be trying to get you. So I can find one. I bet you I can find one now for probably about $400.
And then do it yourself.
And do it myself.
E, on that note, let me ask you a question, brother. Then we're going to move on, please. Okay, can we move on off that? How did that tree project work out for you doing it yourself? You still moving them trees and shit, ain't you? Now, that storm been about 4 storms ago. You was gonna save a lot of money by moving
gonna
that shit
save a
out
lot
and
of
cutting
money.
it yourself.
I'm gonna save a lot of money by doing
Oh,
it
you ain't even
myself.
done it yet, have you?
Look, there's a method. There's a
Oh,
method to what
gee.
I'm doing. I
Okay.
cleared out the part of the yard that the trees are in. The where the trees were obtrusive, I guess. I cleared that part out. That's gone. Now I need to rent the lift. And I was waiting for a
For better
decent,
weather.
yeah.
That was
So
2 months ago. Ain't been no bad. Ain't been good weather in a couple months now. You're right.
not
I
on
see
not
where you
on
go.
weekends when I'm free.
Oh, okay, okay.
So if the weather is good this weekend, that project is getting done this weekend.
Got you.
That's simple.
Okay, well, I mean, hey, okay, you got it. Hey, get it
Okay,
done.
But see, here's where I get vexed. Because see, you calling me out on this stuff. And that's cool.
You brought it up though.
I didn't bring that up. You just brought it up.
I brought it up today,
All
but
right,
you
so-
told everybody about
Wait
the
a minute.
trees.
So hold on, so you called me out on it, right?
Yeah.
So next Monday, when we do this show and it's done, then what you gonna say? What all y'all gonna say then?
You know what I'm gonna say, E?
Y'all gonna put some money on my Cash App?
Now, you know what I'm gonna say?
All right then.
I would have put money on your Cash App if you would have had a professional come out and do it. I ain't gonna pay you to do your work. That don't make no sense. But what I'm gonna say when you get it done is I'm gonna say about damn time. Congratulations.
see, that don't benefit me none. About damn time don't benefit me none. How you gonna be critical of me? My timeline.
I think it's your presentation, bro, because you
Oh.
make everything sound like it's a piece of cake. And it turned out to be a piece of cake that's
I don't
taking
make it
forever.
sound like a piece of cake. Doing
Bro,
breaks
I
is a
heard you
hold on.
tell people how to fix
Doing-
their brakes.
That's what
and
I was just about to say. Doing your breaks is a piece of cake.
See, listen to that shit. No, it's not to a lot of
Yes,
people.
it is.
And do you realize you have people taking their tires out in their yard and shit'll be all over the place? And you got them believing that they can put some brake pads on, man. Everybody's not that inclined. Everybody can't do that.
You don't have to be inclined to do that.
Yeah,
don't
you
have to
do.
be.
Yes, you do. It's
No, you-
intimidating for a lot of people.
That's why
Yeah,
I'm
you
trying to
do.
make it. I'm trying to make it less intimidating so you can save yourself a whole lot of money.
Well, that's
Hold on.
why they have
Any-
professionals that do
hold
that, bro.
Any
That's why
brothers
you
on
have
here
people
ever
that do
changed
that.
your brakes? Any
Huh?
brothers on here ever put a new set of rotors, a new set of pads, even changed the caliper? Any brothers on here ever done that? And if you have, can you tell Wyatt and the people that it really is quite simple? Anybody?
I'll wait.
Yeah, I'm waiting too.
Yeah,
Or
because
do we have Terry says a tropical rain coming this weekend. Oh. It's gonna be a dry weekend coming up. And when it's a dry weekend, I'm gonna be out there. I'm gonna cut them trees down, chop them
See,
up, get them out of here.
with Terry just saying that just gave you an out. You about to rearrange your schedule because this weekend is 6 days away still. What we got?
No, I'm not rearranging nothing. I have to see. All right, let's see. Crystal says it's easy. Joe says I've done it. Yes, it's simple for breaks. It is. I'm telling you, it's simple for breaks. Sean says I'm paying somebody. Man up, Sean. Man up.
See, E, you know what? Listen to E, y'all ass is gonna be riding down Liberty one day and can't stop trying to do this shit on y'all own. Then who you gonna turn?
Myosa says Mr. Jones, who is rich as hell, changed his brakes once. He said it was easy, but he's not gonna ever do it again because he rich as hell.
Now what sense that
Anthony
makes?
says it's not hard to do pads and rotors. It's not.
It
It's
may
not
not be
hard.
the most difficult thing to do on a car, but it's not for everybody to do, bro. That's all I said. That's what I'm saying. Okay, like changing light bulbs or something in the blinker or something. You made it sound like it's as simple as removing the plate and then putting a light bulb, popping it in and out, or a headlight or something. It's not quite that simple. Some
Bro.
people can't even change a flat, let alone put brakes on.
Who are these people who can't change a flat? Their fathers failed them.
Oh, geez.
Your daddy failed you if you
Well,
can't change a flat.
I don't know if you know, bro, but There's a lot of people that can't that don't. That's what AAA is for. A lot of people don't change flats. A lot of
Look,
people don't do their own
okay,
work
a
on
lot of
stuff.
people don't want to do it. I understand that. A lot of people don't want to do it, but you should have the ability to do it. And you should, and if you got the ability to do it, then you should know how simple it is to do.
Okay. Well, like Jenny just said, she says, I have all my work done at the dealership, not messing up my warranty. Jenny, you got to
Jeannie,
understand,
Jeannie, you are
we're not
not
talking
messing up.
about
Oh my goodness. You are
Jenny.
not
Don't
messing up your warranty changing your brake pads.
um
What kind of
you
warranty
might.
you got if you get your brake, if you change your brake pads, your warranty is void.
I mean, maybe you might. You might. I don't know. I don't. I can't imagine taking my car to the dealership and them saying, "Hey, you had." Sometimes they don't want other places, dealing with the car, like a Chevy dealership or something like that, or a Benz dealership or something. They don't really want other places, those off loose end places, dealing with the cars. Sometimes they do void out the warranty when they do certain work to the cars.
What kind of warranty y'all got?
Manufacturer warranties. I'm talking about if
Manufacturer
you.
does not the manufacturer does not void your warranty if you change a flat tire. The manufacturer does
Oh,
not
now
void
didn't
your
nobody say
warranty
that?
if
E.
you
Didn't nobody
change your
say that?
brakes. The manufacturer does not void your warranty if you change your. Do you know how to change your oil?
If there's things on a car that's covered under the warranty and you get it done, it's a outside of the manufacturer that do leave an avenue for them to cancel your warranty.
Ben says I never had a new car. I've had new cars. Brought it right off the lot with like 2 miles on it or whatever was on it. I guess from the delivery charge or the delivery or whatever. I've
Hmm.
had brand new cars and I ain't got no problem changing the oil. I ain't got no problem when stuff go wrong with it that I know how to fixing it, or some stuff that I don't know how to fix, looking it up. And then I determine, okay, I can do that, or yeah, I'm not messing with that. I understand that. How many of y'all have changed y'all own oil? Is that too hard to do as well? Like, some of the stuff is simple and you go to these places and they change your oil and they charge you all this money. Changing your oil is so simple. Like, it's one of
Well,
the simplest things you can do.
it might be, bro, but it's not for everybody. Everybody don't want to get the grease in them grease on their hands. Everybody don't want to go
Wear
through all that.
gloves.
Well, you can come up with any rebuttal you want, but
I'm saying
everybody ain't on it.
that's why they make them little plastic gloves or whatever, vinyl, whatever. You basically one bolt. You let all your oil drip out. You put the bolt back in. You reach around. You might need a little tool. Loosen up your oil filter. Put the new one on. Put the oil in. Put the cap back on. Check it and make sure everything is good. That's it. That's the whole job.
Yeah, I got you. I don't have no problem with it. I'm just saying it's not for everybody. You may have a mom that's a single mother that's how she gets things done is she takes it to the dealership. She take it to Mr. Smith up on the corner who fixes cars. That might be what they want to do. Everybody don't change tires. Everybody don't change oil. Everybody don't do that stuff. I mean, some people don't do it.
Okay. I'm not saying you have to. You brought it up as if to say, the stuff that I be talking about is easy. It's
Well,
not
yeah,
easy.
because of the way you said it. And I was like, man, some people, will misinterpret an easy brake job. And the way you said it, you made it sound like changing the brakes or the brake pads or whatever is an easy task. And I'm
It
saying that
is.
it's not necessarily easy for everyone. It's not
Okay.
going to be that easy for everybody. Now, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Maybe it's the easiest thing on the car to fix, and everybody should do their own brake work.
Anthony says, problem with changing oil now is a lot of places no longer just let you bring in the old oil anymore. Well, the two places up the street from me, they don't have no problem. I take the old oil in, pour it in the big jug. That's that.
Yeah. Some people said $60 oil change. McConnell says shit. Some places a $60 oil change. That's you driving them foreigns, bro. I know
They will
some more
charge
than
you a
that.
lot of money for an oil change.
Yeah, they used to do the
Hold on. Let me ask you
1999
this.
oil
Oh,
change.
so let me ask you this. When you go and get your oil changed and they tell you your cabin filter need to be changed and they want to charge you $75 to change it, do you let them change it or do you go ahead and change it yourself?
No, I don't. If you talking about me specifically,
Yeah,
or you
yeah.
talking to the people?
Now you.
See, my oil has to be changed in the little in what they call a Schedule A, Schedule B, Schedule C,
Oh, that's
and
right, cause
Schedule
you,
D.
yeah, you got one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I don't look at my speedometer or my mileage and say, oh, it's 3,000 miles. It's time for me to get an oil change. My car is scheduled. They're scheduled visits, and when you get the oil change, they do all the other things that come with a Schedule A or Schedule B or whatever. So I mean, that's yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
when I go to the oil change places, which I do from time to time, just out of convenience. When I go there from time to time, and they be like, "Oh, your cabin filter, it's gonna be, you know, w- here's your old filter, here's your new filter. It'll be $75 to change that." I'll be like, "Man, put my old filter back." "Oh, your air filter, we can change this one for $65." Man, put my air filter back.
right.
Cause I could go up to the AutoZone or Advanced Auto or Napa or O'Reilly's or any of these places, probably buy that same part for $9.99 and put it on myself and save myself $55. But then y'all be like, well, you got to pay for the convenience. Man,
No, I do have a short little story that I know happened when I was a younger guy. I was probably about 20 years old, maybe 21. I took my car to CarX on Reading Road. I mean, it was a Mercedes. It was not new and all of that, but I took it to the CarX to get brakes. It needed brakes, obviously. It was grinding in the rotors. You can hear all of that. And they hit me with a price of like it was something ridiculous, like 970 something dollars for brakes and rotors and all that. Then I seen this sister. I'm sitting in the waiting room waiting to get my paperwork. And then the sister walks in and she's driving a Jaguar. What? What you read?
some of these people are just hilarious.
Yeah. This sister walks into the same car X and she's driving a Jaguar, bro. And they went on top on her. I told them before I seen her price, I was like, I don't have $900. I'm a young dude and blah blah blah. And I got everything done for like 200 and something dollars that would get me out of there. And that lady's bill was like 1,300 and something dollars for brakes and pads and rotors. And she had a Jaguar. And I just to this day, I think they may have taken advantage of her, but I don't know what it costs to get that kind of stuff done. But I didn't spend the $900 they initially told me. I knew to kind of negotiate or to process of elimination of the work that may be needed, but she didn't. She paid the $1,300 to get her work done. But probably if she would have taken that same car to the Jaguar dealership, it probably would have been the same or if not more. So maybe she in her mind felt like she had a deal. I also believe that it depends on what type of car you drive. Some people don't have time or feel that some cars are more complicated than other cars.
That's true. I understand that. I'm just saying if, and I'm not even saying that you have to do it. Like I said, I don't change my oil every time. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? Let me pop into the whatever lube shop, quick lube, jiffy lube, whatever, and get this done. Um, and I know how to do it. So I'm not saying it's everyone has to do it every time, but I do think, especially, and this might be sexist of me, but especially if you a man, you should know how to do some of these things.
Why is that?
I don't know why. I just always felt that way. As a man, you should know how to work on stuff. You should know how to, fix something. How to You should know how to do some
That's what
stuff.
make
Like
you feel like a man.
you shouldn't always have to in my mind, a man don't always have to rely on another man to do his work.
That's how
Sometimes
you feel about that?
yeah,
Really?
that really is how I feel about it. As
Hmm.
a man, you know what I'm saying? If my son right now at what is he, 32 maybe, 31, 32, if if he say call me talking about, Daddy, my tire flat, I'm gonna be like, well, little nigga, get out there and fix your shit. You know what I'm? Why
Right,
you
right. That's a
calling me?
little
You a
different. That's
grown
a little
man.
different. We're not talking about something as basic as putting some air in a tire like you would do a bicycle. I'm talking
But
about certain things like changing brakes, and
I
I'm
done
talking about the
taught
things
that
that we were
I
just
done
talking
taught
about.
that boy how to do that. Like that was a part of my job as his daddy. I done taught that boy how to, I done taught my daughter
Well,
how to do it.
let me say this because someone just wrote a message that really makes a lot of sense, and I'm gonna find that person. I think it was Cindy Hill. Let me just make sure. Yeah, it was Cindy Hill. She said, "Not every man had a dad to teach him things," and that's a great point because
That's
I
true.
never had a father to teach me how to change anything, from a flat on a bicycle to a flat on a car. I never had a father to teach me any of those things, what we call man things.
But like
Um,
but what Ross Freeman just put up as a point I was just about to make. YouTube will teach you how to do everything.
Yeah, but don't
YouTube
your
will teach
dads
you
usually do it
how
on
to
a
do.
hands-on type of thing? Isn't that a little different from learning on, on a video versus learning from somebody that you grew up with,
Yeah,
probably
it's a little
admiring them?
different.
It's a
Yeah,
hands-on
I
type of thing.
I agree. It's a little different, but you can still learn.
Yeah, but it's a little bit different. Most guys who are mechanically inclined do learn from their father or uncles or someone like that. Crystal, this is one of my sandboxes. She says a man is supposed to know what to do, figure it out, no excuses. Yeah, yeah, and see when y'all say that sandbox, that's where I get a little upset because not upset, but I disagreeable. I don't believe that that's what classifies you as a man if you know how to do mechanical things or fix things in the house. That don't necessarily make you a man. If you don't know how to do those things, that don't make you less of a man. What makes you a man is being able to get it done one way or the other, whether you do it yourself or you have the bread to be able to get it done. Now, for everybody like what they like. Some women trip over guys that wear uniforms and can get grease on their hands and do all that shit. But that does not define a man of how mechanically inclined he is. What defines a man to me is a man who can get the shit done, regardless of how he gets done, whether he
I,
pays for it or he does it himself. Just get it done.
okay, and that's cool, but I look at it like this. It's probably never gonna happen. All right, it's probably never gonna happen. But if I'm in a position where all the money in the world ain't gonna get it done, I need to be able to get it done.
Like what?
I don't know. I don't know
Now
what position I
all the
might
money
be
in
in.
the world. I'm trying to figure out the how. What do you mean? Like if money don't buy it, then what are you saying? Like if money don't get it done, you better be able to get it
I'm
done.
saying
Just
if I'm
give me
not in
some
a
specific-
position, like you know what I'm saying, I might be driving somewhere. My stuff, something go wrong with it. My battery is dead. I can't call nobody. I'm in the middle of nowhere. Uh, but this got to get done. So I might have $1 million in the trunk, but that ain't gonna help me because I can't get to nobody. I got to get it done. And I'm not gonna be there like, oh, woe is me. I got all this money and I can't do it. Like, figure it out. At least try.
Yeah, okay.
Know something.
I know. All I can tell you is, bro, I see what you're saying. If you break down in the desert, you break down in something, you got to know what to do. And everybody got their ways of dealing with things. Um, but I mean, yeah. AP said your battery dead in the middle
I
of the
meant
nowhere.
I'm
You
talking
stuck.
cell phone battery. My cell
Huh?
phone battery dead.
Oh, I thought you meant the car as well.
No. My cell phone battery dead. And you keep saying, oh, flat tires. No, there's some men out here who don't know how to change a flat tire. So I got a flat tire in the middle of the desert and a dead cell phone battery and $1 million in the trunk. But I'm stuck because I have no idea how to fix and change a flat. That
Okay.
shouldn't be the case for no man.
Okay. I
That's
mean,
all I'm saying.
okay. I mean, I guarantee. See, I just don't want to go there with it. But there's some people that know the answer to all that. There's if you got $1 million in your trunk and you in a desperate situation, you're gonna get out of that desperate situation, regardless of what you, how, I mean, I'll just use your analogy of having $1 million in the trunk, bro.
Mhm.
And you catch what? What happens to your car?
You caught a flat tire in the middle of the desert.
Okay.
Your cell phone battery dead. You can't call AAA. And I'm sorry, you ain't got OnStar. But you gonna pack the flat tire with the $1 million? No.
Probably so. Whatever it takes, bro. I just know that, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I can change a flat tire. I'm just saying that to define a man by his mechanical, being mechanically inclined, that's not fair. That's like telling a woman, see, if I say this, it's gonna sound chauvinistic, but telling a woman that she can't cook, that's why she can't keep a man, that sounds ridiculous to me as well. But that sounds the same. That's on the same level as telling a man because he can't fix a flat or he's not mechanically inclined that he's less than a man. It's the same thing to me. And when a woman says or agrees with that analogy of a man is less than a man if he can't fix things, I can't speak for her, but my doubts go towards she probably feels she would have a fit if I said a woman is not a real woman if she can't cook for her man. And I don't really believe that, but there's people that believe that. The same type of people that believe if a man is not mechanically inclined that he's less than a man. What makes a woman less than a woman? Maybe she's educated, maybe she do different things, maybe she has different skills than being in the kitchen and cooking for a dude.
Now, again, I'm not saying it makes you less than a man. It's just something that I believe a man should know how to do.
Well, I was reading the comments, and of course, you got this one particular cheer section that no matter what you say, she gonna agree with you, and that's fine. That's why I use my analogy of, is a woman less than a woman who can't necessarily cook for a man, and is that why she can't keep a man? You see what I'm saying? You could say that same thing about a man that's not mechanically inclined, but that does not define a man. A woman is not judged on how she cooks.
Well,
not in my world.
She ain't judged as a woman, but a woman should know how to cook.
See,
not necessarily.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I raised my daughters to be clean. I did not raise them to cook for someone. I didn't
say cook for some. Do your daughters know how to cook?
Sure. Well, they know how to. That's still up in the air. I don't want to answer that because they can burn some shit up, and then they can, I don't know. But I didn't raise them to be, if it wouldn't hurt my feelings if a dude told me one day, boy, little Randy, she can't cook a lick. It wouldn't shock me. I didn't raise them to be in the kitchen.
I'm just saying, I'm old fashioned, then I guess. I believe. I'm not saying a man should be, doing all of the stuff that I do. I do stuff just because it's stuff to do. Like I said, I do screen printing. I wouldn't say every man should know how to screen print. I'm thinking about it one day. I was watching some videos. I was like, I want to do that. And so I read up on it, did a little study on it, and bought the stuff, and now I can screen print. My brakes, I told you a story about the brakes. I was with a chick, and she needed her brakes fixed, and her ex showed me how to fix brakes. And I was like, this is it? Like, it's this easy? There's got to be something more to it. It's got to be something more to it. But that wasn't. Nothing more to it. That was it. And so I start learning how to do stuff. And now I like to tinker with things and figure things out. So I'm just saying, I believe a man should be able to do certain things. I'm not saying that defines you as a man. I'm not saying if you can't change a tire, you're not a man.
Well, I'm not saying. Let me say this. Pretty much my entire life, especially as a child, no doubt, I never lived in a house until I became a grown man. And I'm talking years into being a grown man.
Right.
But growing up in like apartments or in the projects and stuff like that, we never really had to fix anything. It was always something that you call maintenance to do. So as I got older and start knowing, certain things that are not covered by a maintenance department or whatever, once you get your own home, there are certain things that you should know how to do, because you can't call a plumber every time you get a leak. I mean, there are certain little things that you should be able to do, that you can do, just to prevent yourself from having a problem all night. You should know how to go. There's some people that don't even know how to cut the main valve water off. They don't know where it is or anything. I get it. So there are certain things that we should be able to do that come along with some mechanical skills. But like, for instance, I put my the faucet system together. I'm not a mechanically inclined dude. My skills lie somewhere else, I'll be honest with you. But I took a lot of pride. That's why I'm not criticizing what you're saying. I took a lot of pride in changing the kitchen. You know how you get the what is the pipes and the hot and cold and all that old shit, the faucets and stuff. I took a lot of pride at doing that myself. My wife told me that the guy could come out and do it. And this was during COVID. The guy could come out and do it, and it would be like $200. I didn't think I had a problem with the $200, but I had a problem waiting 2 months for him to come out. So I did what you said. I looked up the model on YouTube, and I watched a plumber actually do it on YouTube. So I took pride in knowing how to do that. Now, I don't know how long that shit gonna last. I mean, I did it myself. I did it as best I could. Seems to be working. It wasn't as difficult as some might think it would be. However, it's not my thing. But what it did do, I'll give you props on this. It did open up for me to be able to do more. Like, I'm the type of dude that'll call the service, like, hey, bro, I got a leak over here, or hey, yo, I got this leak that's something, or whatever, because I pay for my home warranty. So when I pay for something, I want that service done. But then when you're adding on to your home or doing some other things, and you want some different looking stuff, instead of calling services, I sometimes do those myself. But a lot of people don't do that. And I'm not going to knock those guys because they're not mechanically inclined to be able to do that stuff. And I don't think it's fair when women try to judge men based on what they can do when it comes to mechanics and stuff like that. Those usually be the same ladies that don't want to hear, you ain't a woman if you can't do certain such and such, just being honest.
I agree, and I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. But I do believe that a man should learn how to do some stuff. And I do agree a woman should know how to cook. So, like, she ain't got to be some, chef, some, culinary master, but she should know how to cook a little bit.
Yeah.
She should know how to cook a little
Yeah,
bit.
Jerica said it. And that's, I'll be honest. She said some women are turned on by men who can fix stuff. She said the ish word, but yeah. And I get it. I mean, like I said, that might be the thing. That's why I don't knock it, bro. I'm not tripping. If a lady feels that a man should be able to fix some shit in the house or fix a car or whatever, that might be a turn on for him. I think I said that earlier. It might be a turn on. So I'm not really trying to knock them. And it might be a turn on for some men. It's not my thing. Some women that can cook real well, that might be how you can get a man. And some men are attracted to women that can cook real well. I just find my attractions in other lanes from women. But for each his own. For each his own.
Okay, I agree with you. I just,
Well, here's the
I'm
thing.
with you on the whole home thing.
Let me.
Like, I didn't, before I started renting a home, I had no idea where no shutoff valve was. You couldn't have told me that there was no shutoff valve for the house. You know what I'm saying? That didn't even make sense to me.
Yeah.
But then you learn.
Hold on one
Then
second,
you
because
learn.
Brent said something. Let me bring this up again. It went by so fast. He said something about homeowners. I mean, the home warranties. Give me 1 second. Let me find it. He said something about most of them are trash. Oh,
He said, okay.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
He said a lot of them home warranties are straight up garbage. and it just jumped. You're better off saving the monthly premiums and use that account to pay for the repair.
Well, I don't know. It all depends on who you're dealing with because he's right. There are a lot of home owners or home warranty companies that are garbage because what they do is they go find out, they find little small contractors to do the work. And some of those guys aren't qualified. They may have licensing and all that, but they may not be top notch wall repairs or whatever. But there's certain things that if you get the right warranty, if you get the right home warranty, bro, it might be a little bit more expensive and it might be a 1-year deal at a time. But what they cover is what you should look at. It only takes one thing to happen to cover that home warranty for the money that you spent. If your hot water heater go out, what you gonna do? I mean, it may not go out. It may be repairable. I'm not gonna fix my home water heater. I'm not gonna fix it. That's not what I do. If my air conditioning unit goes out, I'm not gonna fix it. That's what they do. And those warranties, the home warranty that I have covers that. They'll come out for the repair. They'll come out for the replacement. And sometimes what you have to pay is maybe the labor if it exceeds the warranty. But I tried to push that, to be honest with you, E, when I was covering home ownership, trying to get some people to try to buy homes and, own our own property. And one of the arguments that a lot of people came up with was, I can't fix everything. Who do I call if maintenance is not here for me? And I was trying to explain to folks that you can get a home warranty and you can pay like a deductible. You can pay a $50 up front. Every time they come out, it might be $50. But, it's a small price to pay for something that can happen. And I didn't want that to be an excuse for some people not to buy property, is because they felt like if something goes wrong, they wouldn't be able to afford to fix it. I just think that that's not an accurate, they shouldn't really think that way or feel that way, because you can get it fixed for a fraction of what it'll cost.
All right. I agree with you. I don't have a home warranty. Again, because
well, you know how to fix stuff
myself.
though.
Yeah, I fix stuff myself.
Yeah, so
like I replumb half the house. I'm gonna replumb the other half the house.
Are you using the plastic pipes now?
Yeah, I'm switching over to PEX.
There you go.
Switching over to PEX. So I already did half the house. I have to do the half where the line come in at the house.
Yeah.
Because again, this is an old house, so I still have the steel pipes.
Yeah, but E, the older they are, the better built they are too. I mean, honestly,
Well, well, when I cut out that half of the steel stuff,
yeah,
on the other half of the house, and you have that opening about that big,
yeah,
for your 3/4 inch pipe. Man, that bad boy was so tiny. I'm like, how are we even getting water?
right.
Like all of the stuff in there.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, I need to go ahead and do this. And then, at some point I'll hit the other half of the house.
I understand. But yeah, that's cool. Well, anyway, man.
Now, just for the record, that is not a job that you can start and stop and start and stop. That's a job where I have to set aside time.
Yeah, you got to do it.
Because for me, I ain't going to no hotel, nothing like that.
Yeah, you got
that whole job gonna be done in that one day. When I did the half of the house that I did, about 4 hours, and I was like, all right. And then I got the Shark Bite PEX to I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on the steel, but bam. And so when I go to finish that up, that whole piece got to go that day.
Yeah. Hey, Jason Dockery says that his home warranty was trash. I think he just came back with another comment. He said, I let it go last year. What was trash about it? I'm curious, Jason. Can you let us know? Was it trash because they never came out and they never fixed anything? They never covered anything when you called them? Or you just never needed it? Or what made it trash? Be specific on what made it trash. Yeah, I don't mess with electric. Those are two things I don't really mess with, AP. You're right. Anthony Presser says, one thing I won't mess with is electricity. I will call an electrician out in a second. See, he said,
yeah, I've never dealt with trying to run electric, even though I am watching a series of videos because I want to take my screen printing shop and put it on its own circuit and basically run it off of solar. So I'm kind of watching that and determining if that's something that I'm gonna do.
Well, you might as well run the whole house on solar.
No, no,
You
no.
know, I mean, as a backup, or are you talking you don't want it to be you wouldn't want solar to be your primary?
It's too much involved.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, as I watch these videos, you gotta have banks and banks of batteries, and I and I just I can put some put some panels out and all of that kind of stuff. I can do that because my screen print shop is not gonna take a lot of
I
electricity
got you.
to run.
I got you.
So I can do off of solar. Uh Actually I guess I did consult an electrician. My mother-in-law's friend is an electrician.
Mm,
And so, we were talking about it. So that is something I can do. But it's something if I do it, I want to do it myself.
I got you. Jason Dockery said they wanted to keep putting band-aids on the issue. Yeah, that's the wrong warranty company, bro. There's hundreds on top of hundreds of warranty companies out there. You just have to be a little bit better selective in who you're using. And let me just say this to you. It also depends on how much money you're willing to spend on that warranty. You get what you pay for. I'm sorry, it's a cliche, but it's real. You get what you pay for. And if you think you're going to get your home ownership warranty for a couple $100 a year, that's just not going to happen. Sometimes they're in the realms. You can pay anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a year for those home warranty, situations. My suggestion is once you get certain things up to speed or up to spec, do it for a year or two. Get everything up to spec and then let it go. Hot water heater is good, roofing, your shingles and all that are good, everything, siding's good, everything's good, and then let it go. Yeah,
Somebody said they won't switch their home over to plastic piping is what they said. It makes the water taste nasty. I'm not sure what type of plastic you're using. I'm talking about PEX. It is a plastic, but it's the you'll have a red line and you'll have a blue line. You might have a white line, but it's not plastic,
yeah.
if that makes any sense. It's flexible and all of that good stuff. And I've noticed no change in the taste of my water. But again, I do still got that steel with all of that stuff in there. So that might be my issue.
I'm with Janice. I'm with Janice. I'm with Janice. She says the worst thing in the world is to have a man who thinks he can fix everything and he usually half does it. I mean, that's just people. I mean, that's just not
That's
just men.
Janice being a man hater.
Is that
Janice,
right?
don't be a man
I
hater,
think there's a lot of
Janice.
women that feel that way. There's a lot of women that are sitting here watching this saying,
No, I'm picking
or
with Janice. There is some truth to that.
yeah, there's a lot
I,
of dudes that try to
I
fix
mean,
shit and don't know what they're doing.
again, there are projects, as everybody knows, that I start and don't hit like right away. But the stuff that's essential stuff, that get done. Like if the wifey come home and she hears a squeal on her brakes, them brakes is fixed that day.
Right.
I'm done with them. By the time she got to use that car again. That's not I'm going to do half of it today and next week I'll finish. That's not one of those things that you do. Like I said, when it was time to replumb that side of the house, it wasn't, well, I'm going to put some pipes in there. No, that's got to be done.
Yeah.
So I understand that. I understand that. But I mean, I'm teasing Janice just because that's what I do.
I got you.
But there is something to, once you get into a project and it ain't essential, you can put that off.
Yeah. No, I get it. All right. Well, I just, one thing that I didn't want to do is have people be deterrent, didn't want to buy a piece of property because they felt like they couldn't get things fixed. And there are alternative things out there. You don't have to be able to fix everything in your house. If you have a problem, there are really good warranty companies out there that you can call. I would ask some of my friends who they use and what experience they had. Like I seen someone come on here and they said they have American. I think they said they had American Home Shield. Um, they just get. I've never used American Home Shield. I don't know who they are, but someone here, Brett, said that he had an issue with them at one time. It's pretty long and it keeps moving on me real fast, so I can't really.
Let's see. Quintano says don't use PVC for indoor plumbing. I'm PEX. I'm PEX. I believe PEX has they've been using it for a long time, and everything that I read about it, and again having it now, haven't had it now for about 2 years or something like that. I've had no problems with anything. And typically around this time of year, once everything done cooled off, this is about the time I move indoor and start doing indoor projects. So that pipe I might have to lay some pipe come up real soon.
Hey, Jerica said, I dropped American Home Shield. They sent out shifty contractors. You got to be careful of that. You have to be. One thing that I would do for people that are looking for home warranty companies is get a list of who they use. They usually have a list of their contractors that they use. They'll send you a list or whatever. Just ask for that list before you sign a contract with them, because a lot of them do use small hometown type of people that they use as contractors, and they show up and they come in in trucks that don't look like they supposed to be doing, look like they do everything, I need AE doors to come to fix my doors. I don't need Stanley from down the way on motherfucking Vine Street to be the door fixer this week.
Why not? If Stanley know what he's doing.
Yeah, well, as long as he's
Stanley might be bonded.
Yeah, as long as he's bonded and insured. But usually you can tell who's bonded and insured when they pull up. That's all I'm saying. They usually put on the side of their truck, bonded and insured. I'm just being honest, bro. I done had some people come by like, what you say you do? Oh, you the plumber? Nah, you ain't the plumber this week. Not over here. Nah, I've told them they couldn't come in before. I had one person come in right at COVID, right before COVID. And I wouldn't allow them to come into the house, man. I just didn't feel comfortable with the situation. I mean, COVID was not being explained at the time. It was a lot of uncertainties. And this guy was trying to come in here. He ain't had no mask on. He didn't have, it was just too early. It was too early. We didn't know the situation. So I refused the service. It had nothing to do with, and he had a raggedy ass truck out front. It just didn't look right. The situation didn't look right. And, we didn't have any explanations of how COVID was really hitting and, everything was shutting down. So we refused that service.
Now I had a guy come out. My furnace wasn't working. My furnace, not here, of course, because we have radiators, but this was in another situation.
Mm-hmm.
And the furnace wasn't working. And the brother that came out, he was a brother that he was a caller on the Lincoln Ware show.
Oh, okay.
And I don't remember his name, but it was like Thanksgiving. The heat went out. And I don't even remember how I got I might even call Lincoln and said, hey, what's that dude number? And he came over and he was like you said, I think he had took a paintbrush and wrote his name on the side of his
shoe
truck
polish on the side of his.
But he came in, he assessed the situation. It needed a motor or whatever. He happened to have one. He came in, he put it in, he did everything, and he told us, here is what the problem was. Basically, it was y'all fault, but here is how you make sure that don't happen again. And it was, problem free.
Yeah. I mean, you can get lucky like that sometimes, finding people that just know how to do it. And a lot of people just like learn from their dad or learn from somebody growing up, doing certain things. But it sounded like he was certified from Lincoln show or whatever, it sounded like he might have.
Well, I don't think he advertised on Lincoln show. He was just a caller.
Oh,
that used to. I wish I could remember his name. I mean, I'm certain he did mention that this is what he does. but I don't know if he was bonded, insured, and all
Right.
that good stuff.
Right.
I just knew it was cold, and he said he'd do this. And at the time, I had no idea. I would not have known how to figure out what was wrong.
Yeah.
And he came in and fixed it.
Yeah. I generally make it my, how do I say this the right way? I always try to support us when it come down to using contractors. Like I got one guy that I use that helped me with everything. Somebody said Ozzy. Does that ring a
It
bell?
wasn't Ozzy. It
Okay.
definitely wasn't Rick Jr. I can't remember. He was an older dude, and I don't remember. I don't remember.
Okay. Yeah, well, when it comes down to things like that, man, I seek us out. I try to find, because that's one of the hardest things about it in America is our small businesses getting the opportunity to pick up contracts, like small contracts. And then they have to,
Mhm.
it's hard to advertise, it's hard to do a lot of things out here. So I try to use small businesses to do certain things. Like I have a black owned company that does my carpet cleaning. I have a contract guy that I use that does all my painting and stuff, like Rick. His name is Rick. Ironically, I know you said somebody said Rick up there, but I use a guy named Rick. He does great work. I just make it my business because those guys are really out there hustling and trying to make as much money as they can and move the
Yeah.
needle, but they don't get the type of contracts that some of these other contractors will get. Sometimes they don't work with the home warranty companies. They may not be able to get bonded like these guys, or it's a lot. I own a bonding company and I see them come and go. I see who I don't just do criminal bonds. I do bonds in construction. A lot of people don't know that. But I don't see a lot of black contractors that try to come get bonds, because when you need a bond, sometimes you have to be bonded for $1 million or $2 million. And that's an expensive bond to get. And to qualify on them is also pretty tough. A lot of people don't know that.
Who, for those of you who used to listen to the Lincoln Ware Show, I'm sorry, Wyatt.
Go ahead.
I agree with what you said, but I'm trying to get this man's name now. He used to always call in, and he always started off his call with "To God be the glory." Minister Bill.
Minister Bill.
Yes, that was his radio name he used, was Minister Bill.
Was it?
But he was a HVAC guy.
Oh, okay. That's the guy that came out and did your.
Yeah,
Okay.
he came out on Thanksgiving early in the morning. So before people showed up over to the house, we had heat going. Otherwise, that was going to be a terrible Thanksgiving.
I got you.
Minister Bill, that was his name. But he came and he did a great job.
Yeah. Yeah, there's certain things that, excuse me, I wouldn't depend on people that's not certified or bonded and insured. And electricity is one of them. That's just one of them. Somebody put that up there about I don't touch electricity. I don't either. I don't touch electricity.
I haven't. I would try it.
Shit.
I would try it.
No, not me, E. That's one of the things that if it go bad, it can go real bad.
Bruh, I would try. I've been watching this stuff. I would try.
Yeah, I just, I don't have that much courage in myself or faith in myself to be able to do the electric. First of all, I have to not be scared of it. I would have to overcome the fear of dealing with it. And
That's important.
yeah, electricity is just one of them things that had a bad experience when I was a little boy. I cut an extension cord wire and it popped the shit out of me. So
Oh.
since then, it's one of them things where you're afraid of something because of the what you went through.
Yeah. No,
Jerica asked a question real fast. I'm sorry, E. She says, Wyatt,
Go ahead.
who do you use? I promise to get you that. If you're talking about my warranty company, I'll get that to you. I don't know off the top of my head. It's not something that I use on a regular basis, but I will get that information to you. Yeah, she says home warranty. I'll get it to you. I don't know off the top of my head. I wish I could look it up, but
Are there a lot of home warranty companies
yeah,
around,
yeah.
out there? Or, I mean,
Yes.
like, is it just a few around the nation?
No, there's a lot. There's hundreds of them.
Okay.
There's hundreds of them. I think what you have to watch out for is that's why I'm trying to tell people you get what you pay for. If you're going to get somewhere that's going to charge you a couple $100, you're not going to get a good service. They range anywhere from $250 a year up to easily $2,000 a year. Easily. So, I mean, you get what you pay for. I mean, I would base it off the value of your house too. I wouldn't, some people won't need, you don't need a $2,000 a year home warranty. You don't need that.
All right. Mary say she got choice home warranty. She paid $500 a year. She just used them. She had to get the white man because the black man wanted to come to her house at 11 o'clock at night. And her deductible was $85. She got the platinum package. I don't know that that's necessarily, I mean, for you, apparently that was a negative. But if your problem happened at 11 o'clock at night, I would appreciate the fact that the brother wanted to come out at 11 o'clock at night and fix the problem. But that might not have been the case.
Brett said, if you're paying $250 a year for a home warranty, it better be Barbie's dream house. You're right. And people do that. I mean, they get suckered in and they pay that $250. And the the deductible is $1,000 sometimes, and then they don't even want to fix half of the stuff. So you will run into that. You will run into that.
And again, I never dealt with a home warranty. I just never dealt with. Oh my
Jeez. It's just there, blah blah pling. They don't know what we laughing. I think they know what we laughing at. Though. Oh my God!
Wow.
Ooh.
I don't even know that I could scroll through all of that, Shahira. But for
have to write a book report on that one. I'll have to get
what is typically.
Go ahead. I'm
what
sorry.
Is typically covered in a home warranty plan?
Usually wear and tear items, furnace, pipes, air conditioning, ACs, and things of that nature. They'll give you a list. That's why I'm trying to tell everyone, if you get a list, also get a list of the contractors that can come out, that they use, that they, Nah, Jerica, stop. She said, "Oh, that was for Brett." So Brett got it. He read it.
All right.
He had to print it off. I'm just playing. Today been a tough day for me, E, man. We got storms going down. I'm in Cincinnati, but storms are headed to Florida. So that, speaking of home warranty shit, there's a lot of things that home warranties don't cover. Your insurance has to cover it in storms in Florida, right? But you talk about shady companies. Try getting homeowners insurance in Florida. It's one of the most. It can be it can be one of the most, like, fraudulent purchases that you ever make in your life. Imagine buying a house and something happens, like a storm, and they tell you after your shit then blew down the street that it's not covered because of whatever, and you've been paying your premiums, man. I mean, I've seen that happen to people, and I see it happening to warranty companies as well. People pay $500 a year on home warranties, and they've been paying for 3 years, 4 years. Nothing happens in those 3 or 4 years. Then all of a sudden their air conditioning unit goes out, and they're told, we'll charge you the $50 or $85 to come out and look at it. And then they're told they need a new system, and then they give them this discounted price, when in fact it should have been covered. The whole AC unit should have been covered. That happens a lot too. So my advice to everyone is to make sure you know who you're dealing with up front. You have to, look at a situation, before it actually happens. You got to be proactive on it and say, hey, are air conditioners covered? And if so, who do you use? Who are your contractors to come out and look at your air conditioners? Who is that for your roofing, for plumbing? Who do you use? And look those companies up. It's important. It's important.
All right.
I'm sorry. I was trying to read that.
Yeah. As a general rule, when the word semen pops up, it's about time to go.
What? Oh, wait, hold on. I mean, okay.
I'm not even sure what they talking about.
Huh?
Uh,
What the hell?
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll let you. That's your thing. That's go E, go E. Yeah, E, go. You right, E. All that old shit. Yeah, you can have all of that. Go ahead. You can have all that.
She said that was a response to a post. Okay.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Oh, I thought you were talking about something different. I thought you were talking about the other response.
But that's what she's saying. I don't know what that meant. But so Wyatt, I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here and let Wyatt Live start.
Oh no, what time is it? No, bro. Don't do that. No, not today.
Yeah, no, our time is up.
Yeah.
We about to get out of here. Again, my time now is 3 to 5 or 3-ish.
Yeah.
To 5.
Yeah.
Sometime around the 3 o'clock hour. Keep your eyes open. I'll be there. Wyatt still does on at least Tuesday through Friday.
Something like that.
Tries to do
something like that. Tuesday through Thursday until football season is over for school. My daughter's involved in the cheering and all that. So we got about 3 or 4 more weeks of taking off on Friday. But right now, since we do King and I on Mondays, I'm just doing Tuesday through Thursday, which is working out fine. You can get a little burned out doing this, E, and I don't know how you've been able to do this for all these years, but I admire you for that. I've always told you that on and off the camera. But some of these guys have been doing this for all these years. It's amazing that you guys have the energy, and I admire that. It's amazing. So thank you once again for having me. I hope you enjoyed your birthday weekend and all that. We didn't get a chance to talk, so we didn't really. I wanted to bring up that preacher to you, bro. We started out talking about church, but I really wanted to bring that preacher up to you. You do know, and I don't want to keep going. I'm just going to say this for maybe next time, but you do know the preacher in Brooklyn is at it again, right? Did you hear what he did?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that video that you put up. But I just want to make sure. Okay, the video that I saw, some people, I guess, were being disruptive in the church.
Yeah.
And then somebody came basically down front, and as he says it, they approached his wife, right?
Yeah.
And so he lay hands on her to keep her away from his wife.
Yeah.
What was your take on that?
Well, I seen the interview that the young lady did, or that the lady did, and she said that the pastor made a comment about she rushed at his wife and his children, which he never really said that. He never said she rushed my child and my wife. What he said was, I just had a gun and all that put in my head about a month ago, and she walked right past me and went in the direction of my daughter and my wife. So that's when I wanted to, he didn't, that's when I wanted to take her out of that direction. I got a video. I was going to try to find it. It shows the church. It has a video camera of the church and the congregation and everything. It wasn't any more than about 10 to 15 people in the whole church. And it showed the lady actually walking up toward the front. Now, in her interview, she said she was walking up there and speaking in tongue. And you know how when you're speaking in tongues, you somewhat into what's going on when it comes to the word. But he's saying that's not what she was doing. She was, and she was like instigating some stuff, saying some things to him, and then walking right past him and going towards his wife and his daughter. And that's when he grabbed her. And in the video, you can see him walk her out. You can see that he grabbed her and he walked her out. You can see that. But I don't know what's going on with this pastor, man. I don't know why he feels like he has to be in front of the camera this kind of way, man. This is a bad look for these guys. For him.
Wait a minute. What do you mean?
I mean, bro, like
look, go ahead.
I try to defend the fact that pastors could have nice things. They can have nice clothes, they can drive nice cars. No one says that he was making all his money in church. He had other business ventures. Right. He's in real estate. I understand that. But man, when you kind of poke the bear, he's a 100% clout chaser, bro. That's what he do. And when you invite cameras in your house and you kind of show your wardrobe and you show how many Gucci shoes you got and how many, it's not me hating on his success, if you want to call it that, but I think that, he has to be careful because, to be honest with you, bro, situations like this are going to happen to him because he turns into a walking lick. From the streets, that's what we call him. Like, you want to show all your shit off, all right, then you're going to be a lick. And I think that's the direction that he's going in.
Well, I don't know much background about him other than, the little stuff that we've talked about. But I feel like this. If you are, he's live streaming his service.
Yeah.
And if for whatever reason, distractions happen in your church, you get robbed or whatever, that don't stop you from live streaming.
Right.
You still got to get the word out. If, you're preaching the word, you still got to get the word out. And if people come in being rowdy, then, you know what I'm saying? They got to be dealt with. Like, I think sometimes people think, I can go here and be rowdy and they ain't going to do nothing. But churches ain't with that stuff no more. And especially, pastors, people got a right to protect their people, their congregants, and especially their family.
Yeah. Hey, Jerica said, we told you he was a joke from the beginning, Wyatt. I never said that he wasn't a joke. I don't want to call him a joke. I know what I'm dealing with. I know who he is. All right. I know the type of personality that he is. I'm saying that because he has nice things, that doesn't mean that he's taken from his congregation, or it doesn't mean that he's, hustling them. It may not mean that. That was the ground that I was on. Remember, we had a conversation about preachers having things. I don't have a problem with preachers having things. Maybe he didn't acquire his wealth through the church, because if you look at this video, it shows the minute and a half of that whole situation, no sound or anything, but there's not enough people in the church for him to be passing the plate, driving a Bentley or wearing a $4,000 Gucci suit. There's not enough people. 10 or 15 people in your congregation not going to get you no money like that. So I'm thinking that he was making money on his videos or whatever he's doing, in real estate, all of that. That's all I was defending. I don't like it when people feel like preachers can't have something. I'm not saying that preachers should get rich off their congregation. I'm just saying, go ahead, E.
No, go ahead and finish what you're saying, because I have a question, a different subject, but this situation reminded me of it.
Okay, go ahead. I was just saying they shouldn't get rich off their congregation, and I don't think he really is getting rich off his congregation. I mean, he don't have enough people. He don't have enough congregation to get rich off of.
Now, did anybody else see this video? I was on Facebook for a minute, and it looked like it might have been in Pittsburgh, where there was a white woman, and a black man having a confrontation, and she slapped him, and then he responded. Did anybody else see that video?
I didn't see that.
I don't know if it was an old video.
Where was it? You said
Um,
Pittsburgh? Was it at a game
Yeah,
or
it
something?
looked like it was in Pittsburgh because it had those yellow seats and everything.
In the stands, you're saying?
Yes.
No, I didn't. I remember I saw a fight at a Pittsburgh Steelers game, and a lady turned around and slapped the brother like 2 hours. Was it the brother and her dude was into it? They got into it. They were arguing, and then the lady said
No,
something, and she ended up slapping the brother or something like that.
this video that I saw, I don't know exactly. Yeah, the guy with the locks.
Yeah,
She slapped him. They were going back and forth. I don't know what preceded that, but they were going back and forth, and she slapped him.
yeah,
And then you could tell he was getting ready to do something, and her dude jumped up.
right.
And it looked like he might have swung at her, but then her dude starts swinging, and he straight knocked dude
Yeah, I
out.
seen
Like,
that. That was at a
yeah, dude
Steelers
was out
game.
cold
It was at a
for a
Steelers
second.
game.
And then he socked her a few times, and then everybody jumped in. And I'm really curious about this. Because I know my feelings on things. But in that situation, she slaps him as the man, since we're talking gender roles and all that stuff a little bit today. Should he have like hauled off and socked her? Was he out of line for that?
Who, the brother that punched her?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a tough question. She slapped him, right?
She
She
slapped
slapped him and knocked his glasses off.
And he
Yeah, it's been a
He
while
was-
since I seen that one, but I seen that, and I think he knocked the shit out of her. He knocked her out or something like that, and her dude wasn't even doing anything. He sat there.
Well, no. You talking about I guess that's an older one. In this one, he swung at the lady, and he didn't get all of her, but the dude jumped in like, yeah, hold on, and start kind of swinging at him. He put dude to sleep.
Yeah, that's the same one.
And then he hit her at least once. But is he out of line? Is he out of line? I don't have a problem when he putting dude to sleep.
Right.
I kind of feel like, you know what I'm saying? If you with me and you slap me, and you know what I'm saying, if me and my wife together, and my wife slaps some dude.
It's now
I
your
gotta
fight.
expect-
It's now your fight.
Right. So I don't have a problem with him putting dude to sleep. Now, if anything, dude should be mad at her.
Right.
And they need to have a conversation because you got me knocked the fuck out.
Right.
But with regard to him punching her, is he out of line?
No,
for
I
that?
think he was fighting both of them at that point. I mean, think about it, E. The dude jumped up on him. He put him to sleep. She's still fighting. He got to defend himself. I mean, isn't that how it works?
See, I don't know. I think like this. And it's different only because she's a woman. And maybe, again, this is my old fashioned kicking in. She slaps him. I ain't got no problem if he slapped the fire out of her. But to ball up your fist and sock her, like, you know what I'm saying, like she a dude, I think that might be a little over the top.
Maybe so. But as a woman, you should know that's a possibility to happen. Especially
I
if you're a
agree.
violent individual. You know, if when you push violence on someone, you should expect violence to come back. If you expect anything less than that, you probably shouldn't be in the violence business. So do I agree that the brother could have opened his hand up and maybe smacked her or mugged her off? Chances are, I'm gonna be honest with you, E, and I'm not a woman abuser and I don't vouch for it or anything, but when you're in those hostile situations, bro, chances are if he would have did something less than eliminating that situation, she would have got up and kept coming at him. And sometimes you have to take care of the situation the first time and not give it a chance to come back and back and back and back. And I think once the ether wear on you and you sitting there fighting him, you didn't already had to punch the dude, and here she come. She's probably even more angry than she was now that her dude is knocked out. So, I mean, you got to sometimes, I mean, he could have mugged her. You're right. He could have mugged her. He could have, just bare armed her off or whatever. But I think some people don't see it that way, bro. They figure the violence is going to continue to come, so I got to protect myself.
Again, I'm just asking because I know when I watched it, I'd be torn on stuff. Like there's a part of me that was like, yeah, that's what she get, putting her hands on you. But then there was another part of me like, but you was a big strong man, and clearly you can hurt that woman. And I'm like, am I enjoying this too much? Because I enjoyed it. I had to be honest. I enjoyed it. And I'm like, am I enjoying this too much? That's a man full out punching a woman like he just punched another grown man and put him to sleep.
Yeah, it can be excessive, but I'm from a place, bro, where dudes brought like when a girl sets you up, she'll set your ass up and she'll stay back and fight with the dudes that she set you up with. That's just how it goes sometimes. So when you defending yourself, she liable to get hit too with the same forces they got hit with. That lady probably started all that shit too, bro. Not that it really matters, but I'm gonna be honest with you, man. The dude, if he gave a shit about her, he would have de-escalated that situation before he let his woman get to a point where she's swinging. Why wouldn't the dude step up and stop it from that point? If my wife is getting into it with somebody, it's my job to de-escalate that. And if dude keep pushing, he don't have no problem with her no more. The problem is with me, right? She can sit her ass down and I'll handle it. But that's not how that worked out. The dude let her continue to argue and fight and scrape and all that old shit. And then she threw the blow first. When he swung back, he missed. And then the dude jumped up and then he put him to sleep. And then he had to do something to her because she is now more of a threat than she was before. Sorry, I'm not about hitting women, but that's not quite what that is to me at that case. This isn't a domestic violence type of situation. This is a self-defense situation.
All right. Yeah, I just looked it up. The one I'm talking about is from a year ago.
Yeah, I remember it. It's at the
So this
Steeler
happened at a
game.
preseason game last year. But this is the first time I saw it, so I thought maybe it was like from this week or something.
No, it's from a while. I remember talking about it for a second because we had that same situation. Did dude really have to hit her like that? And I say to
Okay.
myself, yeah, she's part of a threat now. She threw the first punch. Dude got up and he wanted to get in. He should have been got up and pulled his girl off. And he never did that. So his girl cost him to get knocked out. And then she swung on the brother again, hit him, and he hit her back. And that's what happened. If you he was defending himself.
All right.
All right.
I just wanted your thoughts on it. I saw it, and again, it's one of if you want to call it, I've heard it referred to as a guilty pleasure, but I like to watch fight videos.
I understand.
I like to watch fight videos, and I feel bad the whole time I'm watching them.
I know you.
Like I shouldn't be watching this.
I know you do.
I'm contributing to the unnecessary violence and the decay of society.
I got you.
But I can't not watch them.
I understand. I just can't stand to see certain videos, man. There's some that turn me completely off the internet, like turn me against the internet. I can't stand to see two sisters go in the middle of the street and fight, and they fight all the way to their clothes are torn off, and there's people sitting around filming it. It's degrading. I can't stand to see it. I think we better than that. I can't stand to see people fighting at the damn Disney park, both white and black. I think they shouldn't do that shit in front of their children. It's just certain things that I don't like, but there are some of the fights that I like to watch some of those I don't know, street fights that are somewhat organized in the backyards and shit like that. I do like to watch that.
Nah, I'm talking about the ones you just talking about with people in the street fighting. The only thing that irritate me about those is when people don't turn the camera sideways. You know what I'm saying? Look, if you ever out and you see a fight, don't do this. Don't do this. Do this.
Yeah, get the right angle.
This is bad. This is good.
Jeez, you something else, bro.
And I'll be like, what are you doing? Landscape.
For all of them that thought that you was the Christian Emmanuel Livingston, brother, You have proven them all wrong. You have proven them all
Uh,
wrong.
I I don't think that's wrong. I'm not. If I were there, I would be saying, "Hey, hey, hey, do we really have to? Do y'all really want to do
Nah, you
this?
would be
You
like,
know?"
hey, hey, turn the camera the other way so the people could get the
But
full effect.
but since it's already done happened, there's nothing I can do about it at that
Oh,
moment.
you terrible.
And then I get irritated when the cameraman recorded. Oh, they fighting. Did you see that? Oh, stay on the fight.
Yeah,
I don't want to see your friend. I want to see the
that's
fight.
horrible, E. That's horrible. I don't really want to see people act like that, to be honest with you.
I don't want to see it either. I wish it didn't happen. But because it does happen and it's on the internet.
Oh, you know one thing I wanted to ask you about? I don't know if you were in town for it, but did you hear that there was a hoax active shooter at Princeton?
I did hear that.
And there's several places that have done that. It happened the same day. I'm trying to think
Yeah.
like 3 or 4 different places in Ohio.
I thought it was like 8.
It might be. I just heard of 3 or 4. You know, they gave me a
Yeah.
list. I seen a list of the 3 or 4 places that were being called. And somebody's gonna end up going to jail for doing that, brother. I guarantee you.
Yeah. Yeah. And somebody should. Somebody should. I mean, I don't, they say that the guy had, like a Middle Eastern or an Indian accent or whatever.
Mm.
But
Yeah, that's horrible.
it's scary only because you don't want it to turn into the boy who cried wolf situation where they do it and then everybody show up and then they do it and then the one time where they like, oh, this again.
Right, right.
And so their response is too slow and that's the real deal.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's a possibility, and we don't want to see that, man. We don't want to see that. I thought I'd bring that up. I was glad to hear that it was a hoax. I was actually in the clerk's office in Hamilton County, and the call came over. They had so many different um, police divisions there, from different areas. And
Yeah.
I happened to hear it over one of the police officers' radio, and they said 10 shot, and it came in that way. The initial call said active shooter, Princeton High School, 10 shot. And that was a scary sound. That was very scary.
Yeah.
You just, I would rather see it on the internet or something and just question it, like, how true is this, versus hearing it on a police radio. You know what I mean? That
Right.
right there really, it shook me for a hot second. But I'm glad to
Yeah.
hear that it was not true. I'm glad to see that, glad to hear it. But
And can I say this before we
Sure,
go?
man.
Because y'all know I don't give a whole lot of props to people, but I want to give props to Lincoln Ware
What do you do?
on that day. I was listening on that day, and apparently somebody sent him a message or whatever on his phone, and he didn't just run with it.
Okay.
He was skeptical, and I could tell he wanted to say it.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "Oh, but I don't know if this is true, so I'm not gonna say it until I see something that's verifying it." And y'all don't understand how much it took for that man to hold back and not
Not
just
to
roll
say
with it.
something, huh?
Look, Lincoln done misreported. I don't know how many people did. Okay? Lincoln done reported that somebody committed suicide, and that man had to call in and say, "I'm not dead. What are you talking about?" Lincoln called and broke into a show to make the super sad announcement that this high profile person has committed suicide.
Oh man.
For real, he did this live on the air. And then probably about 5 minutes later, that high profile person called in mad because he's like, "My kids is listening to
Right,
this radio.
right.
And you done just announced I committed suicide." He has announced people dead and all kind of horrible stuff that didn't actually happen because he got an alert. Somebody tipped him off. Or
Right,
something.
right.
So for him to hold back and say, "Okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wait." That took a whole lot of restraint. And so I just want to give him props for that. He didn't just run with it. He showed some restraint. And
Well, I mean,
y'all don't
that's
understand
cool. I mean,
how difficult that was for that man.
probably so. But I mean, he should have that same restraint. I know they're gonna hate on me because I say what I say, but he might want to have that same restraint towards some of the stories that he talk about too, when it come down to, giving information to people about what's going on. That's what I mean. I don't want to take away from your compliment, but I just got to be honest about it. I mean, everything you hear and read is not necessarily true, right? So we should be careful how we give information out sometime, because it's not always the way that it's being transformed to you, to him. He gives it the same way, and it may not be true. So if he's giving out information that's not accurate about suicides and shit like that, or murders or whatever, then
That's terrible.
yeah, you got to be careful on some of the political issues that are discussed as well. It all fall under the same umbrella to me. Hey,
I still don't let him live it down.
hey, bro, you
Every
got time
time,
for a call?
sure,
You sure?
sure.
All
Yeah.
right, let's take one real fast. Caller, you there?
It's Tracy. How are you all?
Hey, Tracy, how you doing?
Good. I'm sorry. I'm just jumping on. Have you all been on for a while?
Only since about 3.
Oh, shoot. Well, I'm gonna hurry up because I know Email might have to pick his granddaughter up or something. But I just wanted to say that Friday for me really showed me, especially with it being here in Cincinnati, how people are dealing with post-traumatic stress from all of these shootings that have been happening nationwide. My 18-year-old had the day off. He's a student at Scarlet Oaks, and they had the day off Friday. And he called me panicked. And I couldn't get out of him what was wrong. Active shooter at Princeton. And it sent me into a panic because my husband's a UPS man, and sometimes he delivers over to that school. And I have my neighbor, my next door neighbor is a teacher at the middle school. So I'm like all over the phones, making phone calls, making sure everybody's okay. She texts me, she says she's okay, they're on lockdown. My husband wasn't over there that day. My girlfriend's daughter was okay. But, the reality of it is although we can have, scenarios played out in our heads of what we should do and teach our kids where to go, where it's safe, you can just never prepare. And that just terrifies me. I can't get my son out of the 12th grade fast enough. And I'm not naive enough to think that something can't happen somewhere else, but school is just not safe to me. And Friday just put it all into perspective, and I hope that person gets caught.
Yeah. So how did you hear about it, Tracy?
My son called me. My son
Okay.
initially called me. I was at work. I didn't have the news on or anything. And he, kids start talking about it on the chats, and he got a bunch of text messages. So he called and told me about it.
Yeah, Tracy, what's crazy about that is I was in the clerk's office in Hamilton County downtown, and there was a couple of police officers that were in the same offices that I was in at that time, and it came across their radio. And then I checked my phone, and I get this message because I'm a member. Matter of fact, ironically, they sending me one now. It's Cincinnati.com. I get, messages from them whenever a new story pops up. And from that story at Cincinnati.com, I don't think I could pull it up now, but it headlined massive shoot. It said active shooter, Princeton High School, 10 shot. That was the headline on Cincinnati.com. And I'm saying to myself, why would people put stuff out like this and not verify it? You got parents that are going to hear
the thing
this.
that shook my husband, he's been a UPS driver for 32 years. And those handheld boards that they have that people sign? He said he's never in 32 years seen active shooter come across his diet board. He said, and when he saw that, he just stared at it like it could be, a misprint or something. But when he saw the helicopters in the air and he saw Cincinnati police up at Princeton, he knew it was a problem.
Let me ask you this, Tracy, quick question. You're talking about that pad that the UPS guys have that people sign for their packages?
Yeah, so when you get a package, you either sign that board or they enter it, or they can also use it to scan. Yeah, that board.
Okay, so quick question. Is that his area up in there? Does he deliver up in that area?
Well, the way it's set up is there's 4 drivers or 3 drivers in a loop. They call it a loop. So he typically has Northland Boulevard, Tri-County area,
Okay,
all up and down there. But if somebody's out, they can put packages on his truck that's
I
over
get it.
there. So that's why I say he delivers there sometimes. I don't know where he is during the day. He's just in the vicinity.
No, the reason why I asked is because if he delivers in that area, and you said Tri-County, that's where Princeton is. I see they had everything, and that would be a dangerous
Yeah.
situation if they would have just left the UPS guy out there to be roaming around, you know, in the community and him not be aware. So I shout out to UPS for sending that message on that clipboard, you know, on that signer board, because man,
Yeah, that's how they communicate to their drivers.
that's them
Accident
looking
on
out.
275, 75. They constantly communicate with their drivers when something's going on.
Yeah,
That's
so
going to affect their route.
yeah, so that active shooter situation, if it was a real thing, that's something that those guys should know. So shout out to UPS, man. I'm glad everything worked out over at Princeton High School. But to have parents running up there, going down the street to the church to pick up their kids and have to explain to people that it was a hoax, that's horrible, man. It's frightening because look at what just happened. You know, what was that? What was that down in Texas? Down, you know, look at what's going on in these schools these days, real shootings. And
Well, my college roommate, her daughter was climbing out of the window in the shooting in Michigan. Her daughter was involved in that,
yeah, that's
running for her life. So it's real. I mean, and, you know, it's just horrible. It's like it's a common thing. They just had one in Russia, and everybody was shocked and surprised. But here, it's just like a common thing.
yes, it's ridiculous. It's at the point now where, and then some people just act like it's just a regular thing. That's how common it is now. You know what I mean? People just be like, oh well,
Right.
oh well, you know, another one. And I still think that the
Right.
fight is wrong. You know, I think I'm gonna do a show about it one day. I just think that when people blame guns for the behavior of other people, I just think that's the wrong approach. I think we need to be evaluating people and not evaluating guns. I just don't think it's
Yep.
right. I think that we have the wrong read on how to fix a problem.
Well, that's all I had today. I hope everything goes well down in Florida for you. I put something out there seeing if your house was in Fort Myers. I think they're in the path of the destruction.
Yeah, I'm in
But hopefully
between.
everything goes okay for you.
Did you see the message that I sent?
I didn't because I was out in the field and I didn't have a chance to look at it yet.
All right. Well, I appreciate you looking out, Tracy. I'm in between Naples and Fort Myers and Naples. I'm right there.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
All right. Appreciate you, Tracy.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye. I don't like Nat Turner just said gun laws matter though. Yeah, of course, all laws matter. Laws are put in place to be a deterrent, right? But they're not going to stop people from doing what they need to do. I mean, if people are not getting shot by guns, criminals will use other means. That's what
They
I'm
had a
saying.
mass stabbing in Canada.
Yeah, I mean, people are using cars to commit crimes. What did girl do over at Kroger's the other day? She didn't get out and shoot that boy. She ran his ass over with a car and killed a pedestrian, killed another innocent man with a car. Oh, we better go to Chrysler and get them minivans checked out. People gonna start using it. And I don't mean to make light of it. What I'm saying to people is it's not the guns that's committing these crimes. You know, people are using other means of things to use to kill people. You just don't talk about it because you've been deterred. You've been told that it's a gun problem. It's not a gun problem like as much as it is a people problem. That's
I
just
agree.
my opinion.
I agree.
I mean, think about it. If the white dude in Michigan, excuse me, not in Michigan, but in Buffalo, who wanted to kill all those black folks who got out, remember he got out his car and he shot all those black folks at the grocery store? He didn't necessarily have to do it that way. He could have grabbed a bomb and blew a bomb up and killed twice as many people in the grocery store. So if he didn't have that gun, he still had other means of being able to kill as many black people that his terror could reach. So instead, we focusing in on gun laws and gun, but we're not looking at the people. And it's a mental thing. We just got to pay attention. Crime is going to be crime, but a lot of people use guns as their source of handling situations, yes, but they definitely would use another source if a gun was not available. It's not going to stop a crazy person or a mental person or somebody that's mad at you. If your man found out your man was cheating with your sister and you sitting in the car when his ass walk outside, you ain't gonna wait to get him home and kill him with a gun. You gonna wait for his ass to come out and you're gonna run him over. You're gonna use whatever weapon you have at your disposal.
Yeah.
My bad,
I agree
E.
with you. I
My
agree.
bad.
No, I agree. I agree.
Nat says this happens in America more than any other place. Gun laws are lax here compared to other places. You got to understand, most laws in other countries are more strenuous. It's not just gun laws. People go to jail for years for theft. Just a little small, minute little theft, you think it's something simple here in America, you can get 10 years. Okay, let me just say this. Look at Brittany Griner. Everybody want to make that more and think it's something different than what it really is. Brittany Griner is definitely, I'm sorry, E, you all right?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Okay, Brittany Griner is definitely a political pawn in this whole situation. But they didn't write that rule. They didn't write that rule of law when she got detained. That rule of law was already in place. They just gave her the maximum. They gave her the maximum, which means it was a potential sentence sitting there before she even came to the damn airport, right? A lot of places don't play when it comes to crime. They will give, a lot of countries don't play. Thievery will send you to jail in a lot of places. Gun charges will send you to jail in a lot of places. So go ahead, bro.
Janice said they certainly couldn't kill as many in such a short period of time.
Who couldn't?
I'm assuming she's talking about somebody if they're not using a gun.
That's not necessarily true.
No, it's definitely not true. I understand why people say that, but the stabbing, the mass stabbing in Canada, 10 dead, 19 injured.
Wow.
10 dead, 19 injured. 2 dudes with a knife. So yes, if you are hell-bent on causing mass casualties, you can kind of get away with it.
Well, think about this, E. 9/11, there was not one gun used. And that was the biggest terrorist act in America. Over 3,000 people died and not one gun was used. That's all I can say about that. If people want to kill massive people, there's ways of doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, people use vehicles all the time.
A couple of people said, imagine if they had guns.
If who had guns?
I'm sure they're talking about the 2 in Canada.
But they didn't. That's the whole point of the conversation. They didn't have guns.
People would have probably heard the guns and, ran away. The mass stabbing was quiet, so they could probably get more people before being noticed. So you never know. It might have been the same. It might have been less. The point, of course, being people who want to harm large amounts of people can find a way to harm large amounts of people, gun or no gun.
If you take every gun off the planet right now, okay, if you take let's take them out of America. I mean, this is going to sound kind of stupid, but let's just do it. You take every gun out of America right now. You telling me that massive killings wouldn't happen anymore? Yeah, they would. You would have more people learning how to make pipe bombs and doing all the things, and you have more innocent people, just as many innocent people being killed because of the behavior of people, not necessarily because of the gun. It's the behavior of individuals. Now, the gun might be the first go-to because it might be the easiest neutralizer, but that don't necessarily mean that no one would ever die if it don't necessarily mean that it's the gun's fault that people are going because it's it's the easiest neutralizer. It don't mean that.
I agree. All right, Wyatt, I do have to get out of here.
All right, brother.
I do have to.
Hey, I appreciate you having me, E.
Thank
you. Maybe we can talk about this on the next one. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I said, I appreciate you having me. Again, all of this is because of you.
Because of you. All right, man. Well, hey, I appreciate everybody being here. Maybe on the next one. C, are you on tomorrow, E3?
I have every intention on being on tomorrow.
Oh
at 3.
shit! Now set your alarms for 3 o'clock. E might be here. I'll be here tomorrow at 5. So I'm following E. I hope he comes on so I'll have something to talk about. Because if he don't talk, I usually don't have shit to talk about. So tune in tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Listen to the Afternoon Experiment with Emmanuel Livingston. It's a dope ass show. And following that show, you'll have Wyatt Live. We'll give you guys what, 3, 5? That's 2. We'll give you about 4 hours of good conversation between the two of us.
He talking that he'll be on till like 8:30. I'll be checking you out, bro. You'll be on till like 8:30 and you still be going strong.
Man, that was one time. I'll holler at y'all, man.
Hey,
Peace
talk
and
to y'all
love to
later.
everybody.
I hope something amazing happens in your life today. I mean that.
Good. Holla.
You forgot. I'm a kid. 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 I'm a kid.
Better, petty, don't matter. Far as the teller, I pray to God they rattle tattle. Hey, what's a rapper? I started off that, now I'm better. I get capital. I help my people to get cheddar. I do business. Look here, stay out my business. I'm so iceberg slimish, stainless, not a blemish. I should have been to prison. Don't boy remorse, no cases pinned. I got the rolling flooded, soaking wet, but ain't been swimming. I'm the man now, ain't I? Work a plan now, can't I? I remember when you lame player, hated a player, now the same lame player. They call a player mayor. Say, what you talking that funky, about my face, wearing that monkey, not that might give you life advice. Get some money, get some money.